against Will Sullivan. Centre bounce underway. Pepe Cavalieri to take you through all the action.
First bounce at Soldiers Reserve. First onto it was Patak, who's been very good. Barging through off the square was Bilby, but it bounces the way of the Tigers. They get a little possession out to the wing. Hamad gets a touch, but it's out of play. Under the old scoreboard on the interchange wing here at Soldiers Reserve. 20 seconds in, be thrown in.
Ben McMahon, Cameron Lee and Lockie Rainbow playing deep forward for Werribee Districts.
Sullivan front spot, but he was worked out of it by Boyd, who claimed it with both hands and tumbles a kick up towards half forward. It was intercepted by Caleb Sullivan for the Tigers, but then it finds its way to the safety of the boundary, courtesy of Patak again, who's had a couple of touches early. No score inside the first minute.
Umpire throws it back in. Sullivan and Boyd again. Sullivan works his way to the front, wins it down with the left hand. Went looking for Hamad. There's a whistle in the ruck contest, and it's going to come back to Will Sullivan.
Big day for him too today, Will Sullivan. Been a little disappointing last time we've seen him, but he's got a height advantage over Murray Boyd, needs to use it.
Forced to kick down the line to a contest. No mark been able to take. Rainbow comes in, lays a strong tackle, and we'll get a ball up at half forward for the Tigers. Kick into the club rooms in the opening quarter. Quick restart by the umpire. Bruck's player couldn't grab it because he wasn't nominated, so he let it bounce. He did really well there. Then a hurry kick goes in the Cam Lee direction. The ball goes out of bounds, and we'll get a throw in 30 metres round. From the Tigers' goal in the left forward pocket. 90 seconds played, still no score in a WRFL match of the day here on 88.9 Win FM.
Throw in, left half forward. Boyd flips it over the back. It found its way to Norton, who had a fumble, and then it falls the way of... not sure who that was who had the flying shot, but it's a behind to the Tigers. Yeah, it was Viojo Rainbow who had the snap. Wasn't great from Spotswood. They turned it over, so the Tigers with the lead early, 1-0 as the Woodsmen bring it out the interchange wing. That's a good mark from Caleb Sullivan. He takes the mark. He's got Molovas free in the middle, who's screaming for it in the centre of Soldiers Reserve, and he's not rewarded. And Jordan Boyd shut him down in the end. So Sullivan kicks long, searching for his brother, Will, who leapt up. The hand pass comes out from Hamad towards Lee of the Trent variety. He was caught high, and he wins the free kick at centre half forward.
Patak almost moved his head off his shoulder.
Kicks inside the 50. Rainbow from the back couldn't quite bring it down. Molovas at the fall, snaps, misses to the near side. Might have found himself in a bit more space than he thought he would initially and rushed the kick. So the Tigers with the first two scores, they're both minor. They lead by 2 points 3 minutes into this opening quarter.
Just snatched at that chance, Molovas, on his non-preferred side. And he might get another chance here. He's taken the mark.
Yeah, as the kicking was misdirected, Molovas marks. Umpires are conferring for something that's gone on inside 50. No, they just paid a mark. So Molovas too far out to score.
Some contention whether the ball was touched or not. That was what the players were crying out for.
So he goes into the pocket when looking for Seaweck, but was fisted away nicely by the Woodsman defence there.
It was Williams who fisted that one clear, Grant Williams.
And the throw in 45 out from the Tigers' goal, right forward pocket. No Sabertooth Club this afternoon. It's been unfortunate. Provides some entertainment as the throw-in comes in. Seaweck comes in, lays the tackle. And Jordan Boyd, and a ball up just inside 50.
Good start this by Werribee. They've played the game pretty much exclusively in their half of the ground. Need to make the most of it though. Only 1 point on the board so far.
I think Sullivan won that down. Straight to another contest, and Hamad lays the tackle, and we'll get another ball up, this time just outside the 50 for the Tigers. Sullivan wins it down, got it to Hamad, just shrugged the tackle, got a hurry kick forward inside 50, puts the defence of the Woodsman under pressure, but Brandon Walsh will have nothing to do with it and takes it through for a rush behind. So Tigers 3 behind, Woodsman yet to score.
All the players in the forward third of the ground. Adam Cooney's the furthest player back, and he's still in the centre square.
Well, the music's back. And the Woodsman tried to bring it out of defence. At the front there was Patak, couldn't take it cleanly. Seaweck paved away there for Caleb Sullivan. It comes out to Lee. That was Trent. He hooks it back to full forward, and then on the last line it was paddled, I think attempting to rush it behind, but it missed the post, so it will be thrown in right up against the right-hand behind post. It is all Werribee at the moment.
That was a great effort there by Trent Lee. Him and his brother were a bit disappointing 2 weeks ago against Hoppers, like a few of their teammates, but they'll be keen for big days today. Both have had plenty of the ball already.
At the throw in deep in the Tigers, attacking 50. An opportunity for Grant Williams to run it out. He dishes the hand pass out, and then a blind kick is out of bounds on the full. It's going to be a free kick to Prismal for the Tigers.
This is good pressure by Werribee Districts. That was a hurried kick forced by pressure and perceived pressure. So Werribee doing well to block the ball in their forward 50 here.
He's too far out to score, Prismal, but he dinks the kick and then chisels the ball inside 50. It was poor, and it's chopped off in defence for the Woodsmen, who can reload from deep in their defensive 50. It was Williams who had the football, and then he has miscued that as well, and it finds the boundary line. So not a whole lot
from
going.
Whence it came, Peppy?
Pretty much.
They're struggling to get it out of their defensive 50 at the moment, Spotty. They've hardly got it up past halfway. This is good pressure here from Werribee Districts.
Toss back in from the stoppage. The Tigers go forward. Hurry kick inside 50. Misses everything. Out of bounds on the full. Free kick to go to Walsh in the back pocket. Wastes no time. Plays on. Gains about 20 metres for his side. Now kicks to centre wing. Clears the head of Sullivan, but ball bounces in the hands of Yacarino. Gave a nice sort of handball away. Now goes forward to Cooney. 1-2 takes the mark. He wheels around quickly on the left foot. He's got a player in space there in Norton. He picks it up on the bounce because it's the opening goal of the game, and it is. End-to-end stuff by the Woodsmen. Was fantastic transition play there by Spotswood. They are one straight leading Werribee Districts, 3 behinds.
Well, the danger of Werribee pressing so high and putting so many numbers in their forward 50 to block the ball in there is when the ball does come out, it's pretty much off to the races for Spotswood, and that's what we saw there. They got in over the back, some nice clean hands by Yacarino, set away his teammates who got the ball up to Adam Cooney, his first touch. Nice dinky little kick around the body, then set away the man who kicked the goal, who was in behind Norton. Yes, he went in and kicked the goal. There was no one between him and the goal, so good play on the break there from the Woodsmen. Back
in the middle, both rucks go up early and miss it. It paves its way down towards Lee, who missed it, and then it comes out to Patak, who gets the clearance for the Woodsman up towards half forward. Dean for his first touch, glides in and then delivers nicely to Will Sullivan, who marks the back defensive point of the centre square and gives the hand pass through the middle there for Harris, who delivers up towards half forward, and there's been a mark paid to Cameron Lee.
Wonder how many free kicks for high contact Cameron Lee's got over the years. He's only a titch of a man, but he's low centre of gravity.
He wobbles a kick inside the 50, and it was poor. It's chopped off by Harley Boyd on the last line.
Their delivery into the forward 50 is letting them down a bit. Werribee getting it in there a lot, but not great entries.
And then a beautiful ball out wide for Josh Norton, who takes the mark, delivers down the wing for Yacarino. So they look good on the spread here, the Woodsmen, and they're out the back again. Yeah. Here's Patak, who ran really hard, couldn't take the mark. Confronted by Dean, gets it to Jordan Boyd, gets around one. Hand pass back to Patak, who kept running, and then he kicked it to the goal line. An opportunity still. The Tigers, though, with the numbers. Good tackle on the last line by McInerney for the Woodsmen to hold it in, and it spills out of play.
Jeez. But Patak would want that one back, wouldn't he?
Yeah,
Just
I think so.
Crucial fumble on that critical moment.
He should have. I don't know why he didn't kick it harder and send it straight through, but again, Spotswood looking very dangerous on the break, really getting in behind Werribee. They've got to be careful to try and block that Werribee Districts.
Throw in deep inside the Woodsman's forward 50. Will be another ball up now from that stoppage. Boyd, the man to come up with the football. That's Murray. Now we do the ruck working at Sullivan. Sullivan goes early, wins it down. And then another tackle laid, and we'll do it all again. 9 played. WRFL match of the day. It's Spotswood 1 straight, Werribee Districts 3 behinds. 9 played first quarter. Cooney from the clearance goes back nicely, did really well there. And he hit Josh Norton, who's Joel McInerney. He's outside the 50, so he looks to pass, kicks a low ball to Yacarino. Found some space, did David Yacarino, and it was a good kick there by Joel McInerney, and Yacarino will have a shot from 45 directly in front. And it was set up by Cooney, who got the ball at the stoppage, but would have normally gone for a snap around the corner, but instead he spread it out to centre half forward and set up this goal scoring opportunity, and as I speak he's coming off the field. I hope it's not an injury. Let's hope not too. It's a good start been involved in these first two scores will be for the Woodsman. Yacarino on his left boot from 45 directly in front. That's 2 for the Woodsman. They lead by 9 points, 2 straight to 3 behind, 10 played opening quarter.
Well, already it's a little worrying for Werribee. They got off to a good start. They blocked the ball in their forward 50. They provided a lot of pressure, but they didn't really create any avenues to goal. Their entries in there were haphazard, and they couldn't really manufacture any shots. Spots would have gone down to their forward 50 twice, got them on the break, and kicked 2 goals. If that's going to be the story of the day, it could be a long one for the Tigers.
Boys, I don't think there's anything too much to worry about how Adam Cooney's body's going to go. I'm certainly expecting he'll play a little bit of time on the bench, sort of with the minutes restrictions and whatnot. But yeah, no injury to speak of, so it should be all good.
Back in the middle, the clearance comes the way of Spotswood, but it wasn't really meaningful out towards the wing, and then a hooked kick back finds Viojo Rainbow from Molavas, and then a bullet into the pocket for Lee, gathering on the bounce. It's Cameron, he's got some space. He checks the kick to full forward. Paddy had too much to do. He wasn't getting over the shoulder there of Steve O'Brien, who takes the mark at full back for the Woodsman. Can repel another attack.
It's a worry when Paddy's your big target in the forward line.
Shares it laterally now with Jordan Boyd, and then pokes it short to Callard. So it's shades of the elimination final last year, Willow. I know you and I went along to watch that one, and it was a game that the Tigers probably would feel they dominated the most of, but were just horribly inefficient in front of goal. Yeah. Spotswood were very good.
Ooh, similar start, wasn't it? It is.
It's got a lot. It's got that sort of feel to it, where Spotswood were very, very good on the break and just barely missed a kick all day. So Boyd hoists a kick up towards half forward. 2 to beat there was Murray. Boyd had it spit ball down to Mould, who was caught in a tackle and pinged for holding the ball.
High fend off.
He took them on. He beat one tackle but ran into a second.
And then a questionable little kick there from Drage. It's worked out okay though, through the middle.
Trent Lee crashed in late there. He wouldn't want to do that too often.
So Norton, who kicked the opening goal earlier, has turned it over. It's chopped off by Gav Donnan at half back though for the Tigers.
Donnan goes wide to Paddy, who marks. Goes short again to Trent Lee. He goes back inboard to Shebeki. Still at left half back. Shebeki though wheels around on his left boot, and he's misdirected the kick straight to Walsh, and the Woodsmen are away again.
So Walsh moves it quickly inside the 50. It was a good kick right to the advantage of Bettiol, who marks a long way from home. Man on the mark just inside the 50, so he might have the journey, and he is going to go for it. No, he's not. He's going to square one inside and gains a bit of territory, and spots up O'Brien, who's marked 45 metres out. So not much closer, but a little straighter.
Werribee were trying to get back in numbers there. They did get caught out again, but didn't quite get enough numbers back to man up O'Brien.
So Steve O'Brien, he'll kick from just inside the paint of 50, kicking to the Duncan's road end. Got very close to the man on the mark. Struck it sweetly though. Is it going to come back? It's not. It's their first blemish, the Woodsmen. They lead by 10, 2-1-13 to 3 behinds. 13 minutes gone of this opening quarter. Pepe Cavalieri, Andrew Wilson and Cade Lucas alongside Nick Boylan and Sam Richards on 88.9 Win FM. If you're parked around the grounds, and there are plenty, or if you've got the wireless into your ears, 90.1 is the unbuffered, undelayed feed. Molavas takes the mark from the kicking, and as he likes to do, he plays on and opens it up for the Tigers.
Beautiful kick finds Lee. Lee comes back in ball looking for Pizzuto. Marks on the edge of the cricket pitch area. Short ball over the top is good as well. Another mark inside 50 for the Tigers now, coming up to Cameron Lee. And can he get the Tigers' first goal of the afternoon? Best movement of the ball all day so far from Werribee. Good kick in by Shebeki. Risky, but it paid off. And great wheel and go by Molavas out towards Lee. And then the other Lee ultimately will have the shot and needs to put it through. So Cam Lee's going to have to kick it 50 metres. Slight angle. Kicking to the clubroom's end here at Soldiers Reserve. Very slow walking by Cameron Lee for goal number 30 on the year. Kicks on its way. Looks pretty good, and he's got it. Opening goal of the afternoon for the Tigers goes to Camley, the 14.5-minute mark of the opening quarter. The Tigers trail by 4 points. They are 139, Woodsman 2-1-13.
Yeah, that's an important one too, just a settler for Werribee after Spotswood hit them on the break a couple of times. Came from an excellent kick out from Daniel Shebeki, straight down the middle onto the chest of Molavas, who showed the presence to wheel around, spread the ball out to centre wing, and eventually they got a clear entry into the forward 50, really for the first time today, and Cameron Lee finished it off. They need more of that, Werribee.
So back in the middle, just a steadier for the Tigers, an important one. They're 4 points down at the halfway mark of the opening quarter. They look like they might win the clearance here, but a big tackle laid by two Woodsmen, Murray Boyd and Steve O'Brien, lock it up. So the Tigers aren't going anywhere. Prismal slow to rise. And they'll do it again. Sullivan and Boyd. Sullivan has to reach over the top of the shoulder of Boyd. Underneath there, laying a tackle was Harvey, the Woodsman. Breaking free of Hamad, the former Woodsman. He coughs it up through the middle. Harvey gets onto it again, runs into some trouble. They lay it back, and then a beautiful kick inside 50. An absolute bullet, and Wayne Patak couldn't drop that one. And he'll line up from directly in front, and just a bit of a chaos ball inside 50.
Right spot, right time.
Yep.
Got the medal last week for E.J. Whitten Foundation for the Woodsman.
Started well today too, Paddock. Did miss that shot on goal earlier, but a chance to make amends here.
He's been very good this year, Wayne Patak. 40 metres out. Lovely approach. How's the kick? It just misses to the right. 5 points the difference. 2-2 to 1-3.
We are the champions playing over in the club room. It's a bit early for that, running the first term.
Shebeki with a long ball in the Sullivan direction, perhaps shepherded out of it. He wants the free kick. It's not forthcoming. And it's been chopped off again by O'Brien. Forward to the middle.
Yeah, inside the centre square. He goes inboard, looking in the Yakarino direction. Flies! All hands to it. Now they got the loose ball, the Woodsman. They can't quite maintain possession as the Werribee Tigers defence works well. Cooney now wrapped up in the tackle. Got a little hammered away. Can't get it out. Yakarino comes lazy. A strong tackle on Mould. And we get a ball up 20 out from the Woodsman goal. Almost a beautiful mark there to David Yakarino.
And a strong tackle to keep the ball in the forward 52.
Rucks go at it. Loose ball, ends up with a handball back to Joel McInerney. Tries to bend it back on his left foot, but misses near side. Woodsman 2-3-15 lead the Tigers. 1-3-9-17 played.
No, Cooney's not trying to do the fancy things. He's just bringing others into the contest. And that'll be something that Anthony Eames will have wanted him to do, not to try and go out there and be the superstar, but just to use his smarts to create opportunities for other players, and he's been effective in that so far.
He's done the little things well. Very smart footballer, it seems. That's a horrible kick in by Shebeki, the captain, straight into the man on the mark. They're going to get away with it, though. The Tigers, as a ball up is called by the umpire at full forward for Spotswood.
Did the first one well. The last two have been good for Shebeki. Got a goal out of that first kick in.
So 30 metres out, an opportunity again for the Woodsman, deep into attack. Hamad lays the tackle, another ball up.
Now
Can't be just giving opportunities away like that.
Now it's the Woodsman's chance to apply forward pressure and block the ball in their forward 50.
From the ball up, it's palmed close to the boundary line. Seaweck and Cooney compete. It ball beats them out of play. It'll be thrown in about 50 metres out at right half forward for the Woodsman, who are 2-3-15. Werribee District's 1-3-9.
And once again, there's not one player from either side past halfway, so it's going to be the theme of the day, I think.
Boyd worked his way to the front, got the clearance. Now the kick goes inside 50 for the Woodsman, bounces over the head of Yakarino, and a big chance here for Werribee Districts to repel. The kick goes into open space. Paddy's in a foot race. Can he get there? Did really well, put the body on the line, but he's got no help from his teammates, so it's all Woodsman. Marks has got it, goes back to Baxter. Norton had plenty of time. They could just raffle it then, the Woodsman, and now they've got the ball with Walsh at half back, and he looks to go down the middle. It's a good kick to O'Brien, plays on immediately, runs through the cricket pitch area, kicks inside 15, the Yakarino direction, got two to beat. Ball spills to the back. Cooney gathers, handballs back to Yakarino, wheels on his left boot, snaps around the body, and a fantastic goal by the Woodsman to take the lead to 12 points at the 19-minute mark of the first quarter. Spotswood 3-3-21 to Werribee Districts 1-3-9.
Yeah, they look dangerous when they get the ball quickly into their forward 50. Spotswood, Yakarino and Cooney combining very nicely there. Cooney just providing the assist that seems to be his role at the moment, and he's had a direct hand in 2 goals, and a great finish there by David Yacarino. And again, they just look more potent when they get the ball into their forward 50 than Werribee do.
Well, it's just in the middle. Viojo Rainbow was far too easily stepped around by O'Brien and didn't look to put in a great effort, to be honest. So it's just a little bit too easy going forward and through the corridor at the moment for Spotswood. 2 goals for Yacarino. Handy break. He's got kick 20 on the year now. Out of the middle, O'Brien with the clearance inside the 50. Yacarino's going to fly from the back. In the end, he stays down. It might spill to him, though, at the fall. There's going to be a ball up. Caleb Sullivan holds it up underneath for the Tigers at fullback. They're under siege a little bit at the moment, Werribee Districts.
Tossed up. Rucks go at it. Bit of a nil or draw. Oh, strong tackle there
and holding
by
the ball.
Josh Drage, and he's won the free kick for holding the ball. That's against Dylan Viojo Rainbow.
Yeah, not often you see him caught like that, but he just didn't see him coming, and he was caught cold. And a goal here, and they're really under the pump, Werribee.
Looks like the matchup might have been changed on Yacarino. Started with Mould. Looks like, I don't know if Matty Dean's got the job now, playing like full back. But the ball's with Josh Drage. He's 30 metres out directly in front, kicks on its way. Another one for the Woodsmen. They got 4 in the opening quarter. They lead by 18 points, 4-3-27 to 1-3-9. Werribee Districts, 21 minutes played now, first quarter.
Yeah, no, again, it's that class up forward. Not only their ability to mark the ball up there and manufacture scoring opportunities, but also their pressure. A great tackle there by Drage on Viojo Rainbow, who was caught napping. And this is a handy break here early for Spotswood. If they can hold this to quarter time, Anthony Eames will be very impressed.
They did lead by as much as 5 goals earlier in the season and were overrun by the Tigers, so they'll be well aware of that.
Again.
The Woodsmen, but they're going to come through the middle again. O'Brien under pressure, gets a quick kick up towards half-forward. Patak barges through. Yacarino's lurking. There's going to be a ball up at the 50.
Again, they're starting to get beaten around the ball, where it'd be a bit like against Hoppers a couple of weeks ago. Patak's having a lot of influence. Boyd's doing well in the ruck.
Harkins on Yacarino now.
Viojo Rainbow finds some space where there was none. Feeds it out to Dean, kicks down the wing. Paddy again the target, and he's never marking that. It was snatched from him by Lynch, who gives it straight back to Paddy, who intercepts. Maybe a bit of poetic justice there, Willow. Seaweck, sorry.
Not much for him to go to, though.
Nothing to kick to, Seaweck. He kicks down the wing. Here's Paddy as the target. Lynch, almost a carbon copy of the past passage of play. It spills down to Marks, feeds it out to Lynch, tries to dart through the middle. Here's Nastasi, who's been a little quiet early, but's been good this year for them. A couple of Tigers muck around with it at half-back. Good tackling pressure by Betio, and Caleb Sullivan never really had a few opportunities to dispose of it and didn't, and potentially was lucky to not be pinged for it. It's going to be thrown in.
And again, the problem there for Werribee, their main target up forward seems to be Jordan Paddy, who's about the size of a letterbox.
In fact, it's going to be balled up close to the boundary line, and then Trent Lee is happy to escort it out. So it will be tossed in now, 55 metres out from Spotswood goal.
A number of times they've gone towards Paddy, and he's just been spoiled from behind, whereas when Spotswood go forward, they don't have a big forward line either, but they seem much better in the air. Yacarino, Cooney, they're pretty dangerous in the air as well.
McMahon wins it down, tried to get it to Dean, who fumbled it. Ahmad comes in, tries to pick it up, he can't. And then Dundon's wrapped up in the tackle, and we get a ball up on the edge of the centre square at half forward for the Woodsmen. They lead by 18 points in a WRFL match of the day. McMahon in front, wins it down. Seaweck couldn't take it. Paddock overran it. Seaweck goes in and gets it again. And the umpire will ball up. This time we're just inside the centre square. 23 and a half played now. As the Kiss Mega Mix rolls on.
I think that's Queen, Willow.
Queen, that's what I meant. I didn't know that, and I just said it completely wrong. But anyway, let's get on with the football.
I'm sure Kiss will get a workout before the game's out.
I was made for loving you or something like that. But a ball up in between the centre square and the 50 at half forward for the Woodsmen.
Ball up, dangerous times at the moment. Into time on in this opening quarter. Patak barrels his way through, gets a little kick up towards half forward. Shebeki was probably caught high, umpire blindsided, he'll ball it up close to the boundary, right where it intersects with the 50 at left half forward.
Won't want to concede another one here, Werribee. We're deep into time on. 3-goal margin already.
Up in the ruck there for the Tigers was Ben McMahon. Quick kick inside the 50. Bettiol shares a hand pass out. Yacarino didn't sit up for him. Bettiol came in late. Holds it up. Good tackle there on Adam Harkins. His first game of the year in the senior side for the Tigers. McMahon and Boyd. Boyd from the back wins it down to Stacey. Held without it. Smother off the boot. Came after Viojo Rainbow. Tried to clear it. It's still in the congestion. Good tackle by McMahon on Boyd. And they're going to do it again.
Yeah, Charlie Nastasi, unlucky not to get a free kick there. He was held well off the ball.
McMahon and Boyd to do the ruck work again. Still inside the Woodsman's attacking 50. Ball spills to the back. Paddock gets it. Runs around. Gets on his right boot. Kicks a wobbler to full forward. But a good defensive mark is taken by Shebeki in the goal square. He looks to get things going quickly. Does a beautiful kick up the middle to Rainbow. Marks just inside the centre square. And he goes out even wider in the Dundon direction. Can he get to the contest? He can't quite. Ball spills to the back there to Callard. He looks for a couple of options and handballs at the feet of his teammate. Put him under a lot of pressure. Now the Tigers come in to help out and gain possession. They were looking for a tripped free kick. The umpire said no. And we'll get a ball in just near the Spotswood interchange bench.
They just don't have that lead-up marking option, Werribee. When they get the kick-off half-back, there's really no one there to mark it. You know, they've had Jordan Paddy a couple of times, but again, he's not the ideal guy for that situation.
From the throw-in, Boyd from the back wins the football and kind of never had his footing and got claimed in a tackle by Molavas. He wins the free kick for holding the ball. He can send the Tigers inside the 50, searching for Rainbow. Clever little nudge, won't get a free kick paid against him. Lee in the pocket, hand pass to a teammate, tumbles a kick forward and caught behind was Pizzuto, and it's chopped off for the Woodsman by Coleman, who shares it out wide with Boyd, who just had enough on Rainbow to take the mark. He pops it over the top and they can get going again. Here's Lynch. He just keeps it in the field of play. Great Shepherd allowed him to keep running. Kicks up towards half forward. Bettiol came. The ball came from the back. Well done here for the Woodsman. Yacarino hemmed in against the boundary. Swiveled the hips. Shared it inboard. And here's Jordan Boyd. Beautiful kick. Cooney! That was a glorious passage of play from Spotswood. And no matter what the Tigers did, they could not hem them in. And Adam Cooney will have the set shot.
That's as good a football as you'll see in the WRFL. That was a sensational passage of play. Great kicking, great awareness too, moving on the run. Yacarino and Boyd involved, and now Cooney to try and finish off.
45-degree angle, you heard the bell. This will give them a 24-point lead if he can put it through. 40 metres out, right foot drop punt, never left the middle of the goals. And Cooney, who set up at least 3 in that term, finishes with one of his own and gives the Woodsman a 24-point lead at the first change. 5-3-33 Spotswood, Werribee Districts 1-3-9. A pair of goals to David Yacarino, the rest singles. Josh Drage, Baxter Norton and then Cooney at the death. And the only goal kicker for the Tigers was Cameron Lee. Point Cook Central's lead Newport by 7. And Wyndham Vale by 24 over West Footscray. Willow, get us underway.
Umpire throws the ball up to restart. Normal rucks with Sullivan and Boyd go at it, but it's the Woodsman with the quick clearance. The ball ends up in the Stasi's hands, too far out to score. Went to kick it and resets himself. Now on his left boot, kicks into the pocket in the Cooney direction. He flies at the back, can't get to the contest as Bill's off hands, rolls out of bounds. The throw in, about 40 round from the Woodsman's goal. Looking like another fast start here for the Woodsman in this second quarter. They lead currently by 24 points, 5-3 to 1-3. Tossed back in. Boyd worked Sullivan under it. Tigers tried to come away with the ball. Ends up though with Baxter Norton for the Woodsman. Just kicks the ball up to full forward. Pack flies off hands. Cooney gets it, grabs it, got a little handball away, but it went straight to Matty Dean. And he got just a hat clearing kick, did well there, and it came off because Dylan Viojo Rainbow took a strong mark on the defensive 50.
And Boyd collected him afterwards, so he certainly made Viojo Rainbow earn that mark. From left half back, he can send the Tigers down the wing. That's not his best. It's going to do well to stay in the field of play, and it is called out of bounds on the full. It will be a free kick to Harley Walsh on centre wing.
Around the grounds, Wyndham Vale 5-7-37, West Footscray 2-1-13. Auburn Vale 19-7-121, North Sunshine yet to score. Incredible score that in the opening quarter. Glen Norton 6-4-40, Tarneet 1 straight, and Sunshine Heights 4-4-28 over Wyndham Suns 3-2-20.
So plenty of big numbers around the grounds. Walsh sends it down the wing from the back. Drage couldn't win it down. Front and centre there was Norton. He gives it over to Yacarino, now to Nastasi. Loves these, Charlie Nastasi, and he kicks the goal. Perfect start for the Woodsmen to the second term, and they're out by 30 points. They've kicked the last 4. That really doesn't matter. They've kicked 6 of the first 7, and they've got this name by the scruff of the neck. 2 minutes in, 6-3 to 1-3.
Yeah, alarm bells are ringing for Werribee now. That's just what they didn't want at the start of the second term. They wanted to get a quick takeaway and maybe lock the ball in their 50 and get a cheap shot at goal somehow from a free kick or something like that. Instead, Spots would have dominated the opening exchanges, played the game exclusively in their forward 50, and then a great finish there from Charlie Nastasi. Werribee in real trouble.
Back in the middle, Sullivan got a little handball away, ball still inside the centre circles. Tackle made by Bucks, and we'll get another stoppage.
Interesting that Werribee got Caleb Sullivan playing up forward now, so he's gone from the back line to the forward line. At least they've got a big target up there.
That's what they needed, but it's the Woodsmen that look like they're going to go forward again. The ball, Jordan Boyd couldn't gain possession. Coper on all fours sort of threw it out. The umpire said it was all good, and they did really well. Paddled it to Marks. Now it's Jordan Boyd from 50, goes long. There's another one for the Woodsmen. 36 points up to the 3-minute mark of the second quarter. 7-3-45 to 1-3-9. Danger times now for Werribee Districts.
Yeah, and you can see the confidence just flowing through Spotswood. They're just running on top of the ground now. They're winning at the centre bounces, and their outside players like Jordan Boyd, Yacarino, they're just running on top of the ground because they know the ball's coming to them, and that was a wonderful finish there from Jordan Boyd on the run. He's a great kick on the run, Jordan Boyd. You've seen it a few times today, and we saw it there for a goal. Werribee need to stem the bleeding very, very quickly.
Back in the middle, 2 rucks go at it. Tigers need a goal right now. They need about 3 or 4. There's going to be another stoppage. Bucks was wrapped up.
Got to try and win the footy at the coalface. They're just getting smashed in and around the ball.
They finally win a clearance through Trent Lee, who runs away, kicks a helicopter ball inside 50, searching for Sullivan, who was good on the half volley and then looked to have turned Harley Walsh inside out, but he was outside the boundary line, so it'll be thrown in.
A bit more of that's needed. And in the ruck, Sullivan is being beaten by Murray Boyd, even though Boyd is significantly shorter than him. He's bigger and stronger, but he's shorter.
Well, he's a lot stronger, you would think. Sullivan a lot slenderer.
But Sullivan, he's not just a beanpole, he's a good ruckman, but he's being beaten here by Murray Boyd, and that's, giving Spotswood's midfielders first use.
So here goes Molovas, who won a free kick for an out of bounds on the full decision, which we didn't call, and he has unwound from outside 50 and missed to the near side. Trying to do something special to ignite his teammates' confidence, and they're doing everything inch perfect at the moment, as evidenced by that kick in. Boyd took the mark inside the boundary, kicks down the wing, a couple compete for it. It was won though by O'Brien. He kicks over the head of Yacarino. The Tigers can repel. The mark's taken by Molovas. Dinks a kick down the wing. It's taken on that outer side, and now the next kick inside the 50. Lee's got the sit, couldn't quite take the mark. He's given away a free kick for a push too.
And again, the Werribee forwards are playing behind. When the ball does go in there quick, they're flat-footed and the Spotswood opponents are in front.
The switch is on now for the Woodsmen. It's Harley Walsh running out of defence now. Goes down the line and finds Josh Drage, but off his hands, and goes out of bounds just next to the van here at Soldiers Reserve. 7-3-45 Spotswood, Werribee Districts 1-4-10. 5 3/4 minutes played of the second quarter. Here the WRFL match of the day here on 88.9 Win FM. Sullivan and Boyd to do the ruck work again. Boyd with the left hand, but far as Hamad. Got a handball away to Lee, but he's wrapped up immediately by Coper. And we'll get a ball up.
Unlucky not to get a free for around the neck there, Lee.
Again, it's Sullivan and Boyd. Boyd with the 2 hands. Down in the Seawick direction, he gathers. He's wrapped up in a strong tackle there by Josh Norton. He's been pinged for holding the ball. Free kick will go to the way of the Woodsman on centre wing.
So Norton's got it right in front of our commentary position. Not a whole lot to go to, so he does backtrack. Callard takes the mark. In the past has been among their leading goal kickers, Dylan Callard. He's not necessarily required at the moment. He goes back to Walsh, puts him under a bit of pressure, kicks down the wing. Almost Jordan Boyd almost took a really good mark. The Tigers win the turnover though through Hamad. Now to Lee. Kick wasn't his best, but made it work. Hand pass back inboard to Hamad. And now to Prismal, who has a long shot at goal from outside 50 and misses.
And Jordan Paddy's out in the forward pocket with his arms outstretched saying, hey, what about me? But again, there was no one really there to kick to, and they just blazed away instead.
The kick in for Boyd landed at his bootlaces. His kick in turn landed at the bootlaces of Drage, who just stopped and propped and laid it back by hand to Nastasi, who doesn't have a whole lot to go to. Kicks on his non-preferred down the wing, and waiting uncontested there was Prismal. He wants to give the hand pass to Hamad, instead moves it on himself by foot for Lee, who marks 55 metres out from goal, too far out to score. Wheels onto the right boot, deep entry, Sullivan's there, no one touched it, it's a goal. And that might be something that they can build on, the Tigers. Certainly out of nothing from Trent Lee, from beyond his range. Caleb Sullivan didn't go for the mark and made sure Harley Walsh didn't lay a finger on it. And it's their second. Back to 28 points, 2-5-17 the Tigers. Spotswood 7-3-45.
And that caps off a good 3 or 4 minutes of football for Werribee. After that last goal from Spotswood, they have really upped their pressure. They've been able to lock the ball in their forward 50. They've made it more difficult for Spotswood to get run off half back. And eventually it sort of came out of nothing. A great long kick from Lee and a smart shepherd there on the line from Sullivan, and that may just give them a bit of a sniff.
Back in the middle. Throw up. Again.
Nick Boylan on the boundary.
Had already said about these long-range goals, they're not really finding too much inside 50. They need to shift some of these forwards around, try to get Sullivan down there, potentially get some backs down there. But their last few efforts have all been sort of from outside 50, just trying to hope and hit. So I'll be interested to see if Chris Gillam tries anything around with his forwards after half-time.
The ball goes to centre wing from a Shebeki defensive kick. The Districts have won the free kick. The free kicks with Lee, centre wing outer side, runs past the old scoreboard now, kicks to half forward. It's a misdirected kick, but it's off hands. Viojo Rainbow overran it. Here. Now they're a chance again. The hurry kick goes towards goal by Viojo Rainbow. Bouncing ball misses the lot.
Again, a hurried kick. He could probably had time to maybe spot up a teammate, but again, there's no forwards really leading. When they are there, they're flat-footed. And what's that smell?
Probably exhaust fumes, I think.
Feels like we're getting smoked out in here.
That's all right. Toss back in. Sullivan in front did really well. Got it to Viojo Rainbow. Couldn't quite gather it from the hit out. Then Paddock's wrapped up in the tackle by Paddy and Viojo Rainbow. Ball up, 40 out, directly in front of the Tigers' goal at the 9 3/4 minute mark of this second quarter.
Throw in, 40 metres out. Patsudo tries to burrow through. Underneath was Will Sullivan again. Nastasi tries to wrench it out. The umpire's giving them every chance. In the end, he blows his whistle. They'll ball it up again in the same spot. 10 minutes gone to the second term. Spotswood by 28. But the Tigers at least have neutralised general play. From the ball up, Woodsman can't break free.
Is there a gas leak or something around here? Some rotten eggs.
From the ball up, Sullivan has given away a free kick for reaching over the top. Not sure, Cade. Doesn't smell great, though, I won't lie. Murray Boyd has it from full-back.
Lucky we've got the window open.
I'm not sure that is lucky. We should shut it.
Yeah.
Now, they again look dangerous over the back here. The Woodsman, Cooney, just had the ball bounce away from him. Molovas kicked a long ball to Patsudo, and he's going to win a free kick for front-on contact or high contact, and then the ball didn't get given back to him. He had to go collect it himself from Kieran Lynch. Just forward to the middle, Mark Patsudo. Called to move it on. Paddy had to jump up and then reaching over the top and paid the mark in the end.
Yeah, he's been a good target up there, Sullivan. Initially it was Paddy going up again, but Sullivan thought, no, I'm having enough of this, I'm coming from behind, and I think he crashed into the back of Harley Walsh in the process, who's down on his haunches.
So Caleb Sullivan kicking for goal where Cooney kicked his first on the quarter-time bell. 40 metres out, 45-degree angle out to the left, kicking to the Duncan's road end. Absolutely must convert for the Tigers as they try to reel the Woodsman in, and that one was always tugged left. 2 goals, 6 Werribee Districts. Spotswood 7 goals, 3. 45, 11 and a half minutes gone of this second quarter, and you just think back to the 3 behinds they kicked to open the match, how different things could have been had some of those gone through for a goal. The Woodsman, though, wasting no time clearing the danger zone, but it was spoiled out of play by Matty Dean. It'll be tossed in on the wing right in front of the Caravan at Soldiers Reserve.
Yeah, they have had chances, Werribee, particularly early on, but 2-6 to 7-3, it just tells the tale of Spotswood's better kicking, and they've had better, more efficient forward entries.
27 points to lead for the Woodsman. Toss back in. Nastasi grabbed the crumbs, got a little hammered away, then a dinky kick forward to send up further up the wing for the Woodsman. Gets fisted out of bounds by Matty Dean, and we'll do it all again.
Matty Dean playing in the back line today. And been pretty good. He's been under siege a bit down there for Werribee, but a couple of good spoils.
Yep, it's on the other number 34 there, Mitch Coleman. Umpire tosses it back in. Boyd wins it with strength in front of McMahon. Now he got the handball away to Paddock, did Boyd. Now the kick goes inside 50. Can they get a mark? The Woodsman. It's fisted away. Ball spills to Harris. He's dispossessed immediately in the tackle. Dean comes in to help out, and he's gang tackled immediately by 2 Woodsmans. And we'll get a ball up 45 metres out from Spotswood's goal. They lead by 27 points on our WRFL match of the day. 2-6-18 Werribee District, Spotswood 7-3, 45-13 played, second quarter.
From the ball up. Sorry, lost my microphone button there. Whoops.
Just you hear the hum then.
Yeah, I know. Couldn't. There's a free kick being picked out. It's going to go the way of the Tigers. It was McMahon who gave it off to Hamad, who kicks it down the wing. Lynch got in the way of Walsh in the end, had to go burrow in and get it again. It spills out to Caleb Sullivan, doesn't want to kick it. Instead, he lays it off by hand through the middle for Donnan, and now towards Lee, backwards to...
it's Paddy again.
Towards Sullivan, rather. He kicks inside the 50. They're outnumbered inside 50, but they're going to hold it up. Good tackle, high tackle.
Ooh.
And 50,
and,
I think, no, reversed. It's been reversed by the umpire, and it's going to go the Tigers' way to Cameron Lee.
Yeah, it was a Spotswood player. I can't identify who it was. I thought it was Jordan Boyd, but it's not, who remonstrated with the Werribee player after the whistle was blown. And, that's
guys, Brandon Walsh.
Yeah, Brandon Walsh. That's a sloppy free kick. Anthony Eames will be very displeased with that, because a goal here, and Werribee just dragged themselves back into the contest a bit.
Well, they only need to be close enough, Werribee Districts, to pose a threat. Anthony Eames, Spotswood know that. Cameron Lee with a goal to his name already today. Tightish angle out to the right. Only 30 out though. The right foot drop punt is a goal. And he makes good on some ill discipline from Spotswood with his second of the afternoon. 31 on the year now, Cameron Lee. He's been an important player for them, and he drags them back within 21 points. 3-6-24. Spotswood 7-3, 45 at the halfway mark of the second quarter on 88.9 Win FM.
And it's been a good last 6-7 minutes from Werribee after those early goals to start the second term. We thought the wheels were going to come off a bit. They have really knuckled down. They've upped their pressure. They've started to get the ball into the forward 50 a bit quicker. Sullivan's provided a target. And, as a result, Spotswood have gotten a bit frustrated, and they've lashed out there and cost themselves a soft goal. We've still got a contest here.
Woodsman with the last 2 goals of the game, their first back-to-back of the the Tigers that was. The Woodsman go forward though. Kick goes inside 50 for the Woodsman. Copa in there laying the tackle along with Coleman, and a ball up on the 50.
Important they don't concede another quick one here, Werribee. They want to, really try and dry up Spotswood's scoring.
Boyd wins the hit out down. Viojo Rainbow slung in the tackle by O'Brien. He's been pinged for holding the ball. Ooh, that could have gone either way. Advantage has been paid.
He's missed.
And it was Jordan Boyd who missed.
And Vojo Rainbow, that almost looked like a bit of a sling tackle.
Yeah, I agree. I agree with you.
I think his head hit the ground, and he's a little bit groggy. He's up and running though, Vojo Rainbow.
Very stiff holding the ball. Free kick in my opinion, Cade. Now Rainbow, Sons Viojo marks on the outer wing, kicks down the wing and finds Caleb Sullivan, who marks in front of his coach there on the clubroom side. He dinks it inboard for Dundon. Not a whole lot to go to.
Hamad's at the back on his own, probably too far away though.
Viojo Rainbow and Will Sullivan have floated 40 kicks up to half forward. Good goal, almost. Yeah, they have paid the mark in the end of Molibas, who wastes no time, pops it in, and Viojo Rainbow, who's hobbled his way forward after that, that heavy tackle that was laid on him at the other end of the ground. He was pinged for holding the ball. It was very sling-like. Very unlucky, and now this would be a really courageous goal, one that could lift his team.
Yeah, and a good mark there by Molivas, who was spoiled away, but he did get purchase on it. He did get his hands on it. It wasn't a great kick to him, but Viojo Rainbow needs to finish this off now, and if he does, Werribee are right back in town.
He'll have to kick it from just inside 50 on the left. That's a beautiful kick from Dylan Viojo Rainbow. His first. And they edge a little closer, the Tigers. 4-6-30 to 7-4-46, and they have kicked the last three to reduce what was at one stage a 36-point deficit.
Yeah, well, he's one of the best players in the competition, Dylan Viojo Rainbow, and not just because he's classy, but he's tough too. That was a pretty heavy knock when his head hit the ground in that tackle, and he didn't go off. He got up, brushed himself off, went up the other end and kicks an important goal, and they're hanging right in there, Werribee. As we near time on in the second term, they are right in this again.
They are, Kate. 16 points to lead now. Murray Boyd wins the hit out. And the high tackle against O'Brien's going to go the way of Lee. It's Trent.
Starting to win the free kicks too, which means they're getting to the contest quicker.
First, yeah.
So Lee, hurry, kick forward. It's a good one out in front there of Bucks, though. Couldn't take the mark. Comes in there and helps out and lays the tackle, and we're going to ball up.
See, in my opinion, that is more holding the ball than the Viojo Rainbow one at the other end. He had almost no prior.
Yeah.
And then Lynch there probably could have at least shoveled a handball out in some respect.
Beautiful hit out by Murray Boyd.
it.
Got it to Paddock, and he just scrambles a kick forward, and it rolls out of bounds. And a throw in under the old scoreboard on the interchange side of the ground here at Soldiers Reserve.
What is and isn't holding the ball is one of life's great existential questions.
And we may never live to receive an answer from the throw-in. On the outer side, Spotswood win the clearance up towards left half forward. Betty, the target, just gets a little over strong for him over the top. And then Rainbow and Cooney collide and bounces out of play. More interested in hurting the other than picking the ball up, and it'll be thrown in 40 metres out, right in front of the club rooms.
Throw in ruck contests for free kicks as well.
Yep.
No idea.
Boyd reaches over the top, wins it down. Cooney spills it out. Ball inside 50. Yacarino the target. Couldn't take the mark. It was good body work there by Rainbow. Shovels a little hand pass out for Spotswood, but the Tigers win the footy through the middle. This could be a key contest. Here comes Pizzuto. He was beaten to it by Lynch, but he lays the tackle. Lynch, he got away. Good tackle. Good hit there by Patak. He went in head first like a rhinoceros there and probably could have won a free kick for high contact.
Yeah, that's tough football by Paddock.
But he just gets up, dusts himself up and goes again. It'll be a ball up.
Like a wombat burrowing in.
Wombats aren't quite as tough as rhinos.
They're pretty tough. If you run into one in your car, it's like hitting a rock.
I have not. I've seen them on the side of the road though, lifeless unfortunately, and they're like mini bears.
Sorry to jump in, boys. Jason Marks going off the ground after that heavy contest. Looks like it could be a problem with his knee. We'll keep you updated on that one.
Quick kick forward out of the contest for Spotswood is pounced on by the Tigers. Here's Hamad with his pace.
Downfield.
Kicks inside the 50. It gets over the back. Can Lee keep it in? He can't. And Hamad feels like he's a little slow to rise.
He's sucking in the big ones. Hamad, one of his former teammates. It was
could have been downfield.
It was a little bit behind play, but they kept the shoulder down. There was nothing dirty about it, but he's just had a bit of wind knocked out of the guts there.
Ticking into time on of this second quarter. Throw in inside 50 for the Tigers. They're closing in. They're down by just 16 points. Beautiful tap from the stoppage by Sullivan. Straight to Viojo Rainbow, but Jordan Boyd was right there to wrap him up. And it will be a ball up 40 metres out from goal.
Yeah, great tackle by Boyd. He's been very, very good today for Spotswood.
21 played, second quarter, restart. All players bodies go flying everywhere there. And the umpire's going to come and ball it up. I think Paddock's at the bottom of the pack there with Boyd again and Viojo Rainbow again.
And Hamad is being escorted.
So the guys, boundary riders, will keep an eye on that for us from the restart. Drage, will we ride the tackle there a little bit? The umpire Gives him the benefit of the doubt, and we'll get another ball.
Didn't seem to be making much effort to get rid of it, Drage.
No, accepted the tackle then. But from the restart, Boyd wins it down, though. Only as far as Trent Lee. Wheels back, does the Cooney thing he did in the first quarter, goes back inside the centre square, and a free kick for high. It's going to go the way of the Tigers. To Prismal, he moves it on quickly. O'Brien got Hansfield in front. Viojo Rainbow tries to rove it. Boyd and Viojo Rainbow meet yet again. And we'll get another ball up inside the forward 50 for the Tigers. Kicking to the Duncan Road end here in the second quarter. Nearly 22 played as the umpire throws it back up. Sullivan back to Viojo Rainbow. This time it's O'Brien that tackles him, and this time the free kick has been given away. And Dylan Viojo Rainbow, careful.
And thrown out, and it's
Chris
reversed.
Molovas is given one back.
See, he actually didn't even sling him to ground. That was more due to a Spotswood teammate dragging him down. So I reckon the umpire got sucked in a little bit there, but if he saw it out of the corner of the eye, it would have looked very much a free kick. So,
gee, the tackling from both teams has been very tough. It's really gone up a notch or two, this contest, in the last few minutes.
So Bettiol from half-back kicks it down the wing. A contest ensues and the Woodsmen win it over the back again. Here's an opportunity, but the kick was poor. It's chopped off there at half-back by Harkins, who delivers down the wing nicely for Prismal, who on that handy left kicks inside the 50. Viojo Rainbow's going to get onto it again. He's not going to beat Lynch. He snaps around the corner, finds Lee, who dropped the mark. Patak burrows in. He's wrapped up by Molovas. It spills free. Walsh runs into a tackle. Viojo Rainbow again. In fact, it's Bucks, and it was touched on the line as it bundled through the goal face. It is a behind to the Tigers, but it has gone up more than a notch in this second quarter. 4-7-31 Werribee Districts, Spotswood 7-4-46 as the Woodsmen try to break it out. It was shoveled out by Prismal, probably thrown more than anything, and there's a high tackle. It's been paid against Jordan Boyd, who's been very hard at it, and Dundon wins it.
Spotswood probably a little unlucky there not to have a free kick a bit earlier for a push. Werribee seem to be getting the better of the 50-50 calls at the moment, and Dundon's going to have a shot. This is a big one.
Man on the mark just outside the 50. He'll have to catch every piece of this due to Dundon. 9 goals of the season. This would be an apt time to bring up double digits. He's not going to get the journey. It's going to fall short. They fly. It's off hands. It's through for a minor score. 14 points the difference. Spotswood in front. 24 going second term.
If only they could just deliver the ball into the 50 better, Werribee. They get it up there so often, but that final kick is often just what's letting them down.
And again, that's a poor kick out of defence by Walsh. It's going to be thrown in. In fact, they've paid it for out on the full because no one touched it, which I'm not sure that's actually a rule anymore. But anyway, the Tigers misused the football, and then Spotswood turned it over to Mould, who rushed his kick. It was partially smothered by Harvey, and it spills out of play. So it will be thrown in at right half forward for Werribee Districts.
It's become a bit of a scrappy game. It's entertaining, but probably the quality has dropped off a bit as the intensity has risen.
McMahon and Boyd go at it. Boyd wins it down, almost stolen by Viojo Rainbow, but the hurry kick forward by the Woodsman. Gains about 15 metres. Coper's at the bottom of the pack. He's wrapped up Rainbow, and we'll get a ball up just near the Werribee Tigers, Werribee Districts interchange bench.
It's a very it's a tough game, but the class that we saw in the first quarter early in this quarter has probably dropped off. A lot of mistakes from either teams, either side now. Boyd
beautifully down to O'Brien, goes in the Cooney direction, but well done there by the Tigers defence. In McGuinness there did really well, got the spoil away, and our players come in from everywhere, and we'll get a ball up just inside 50 for the Woodsmen, just in front of the Tigers club rooms here at Soldiers. We're 25 minutes played now of the second quarter. 14-point lead to the Woodsmen.
From the ball up, close to the boundary line there was Williams, couldn't break free, and it spills out of play.
That was a great effort there from McGuinness, one-on-one with Adam Cooney. That's not a situation any defender in the WRFL would want to be in, but he actually out-muscled Cooney, who's been a bit quiet in this term.
Not too far from half-time. I think the Tigers would be quite content to keep the margin at this, having fallen 36 points down. They're down by 14 at the moment. They have kicked the last 3 of the game, but bit of a stalemate for a while. Boyd grabs it out of the ruck, had his shot at goal smothered, then Bettiol laid a tackle on Viojo Rainbow, and the umpire will have to blow his whistle and ball it up. It has been 9 minutes since the last goal.
It's been a bruising 9 minutes too. It's not been the cleanest football, but gee, it's been tough and hard and entertaining.
Ball up, still deep inside 54 Spotswood. Hand pass comes out defensively for the Tigers. It comes back off Patak to Viojo Rainbow, whose kick was blind towards the wing too. Woodsman probably should have marked it, and then Paddy did brilliantly in the clinches. Hand passes forward to the play to Sullivan, who backtracked to Hamad, and then he was hit hard in a tackle.
Yeah,
And
boys, obviously those two injured players back out on the ground now, with Jason Marks recovering from that knee, and Hamad set to come back out as well.
So it's going to be a ball up on centre wing on the clubroom side. Boyd
Free kick.
has given away the free kick. Yep, he shoved Ben McMahon out of the way illegally. 27 gone of this second quarter.
Gee, they'd love a late goal here, Werribee. That'd really give them a lift before half-time, and they've got the ball now. Spots would have been able to get back in numbers, though.
Ben McMahon, just defensive side of the wing. Oh, huge leap there by, I think it was Walsh from
good tackle,
Spotswood.
Paddy.
And then Paddy wins a free kick for holding the ball on the wing. Well done.
Needs to move it on quick now to get a chance.
Paddy's got it now. He does. It's a high ball. It's going to be hard to mark. Pack flies and a good defensive mark there by Steve O'Brien.
That was a terrible kick.
He goes switch, gets Boyd. That's Jordan. Marks, runs outside defensive 50. Now kicks a high ball in the Yakarino direction. Shebeki's there as well. Yes, Shebeki overran it, but luckily for him, the ball rolls out of bounds and Yakarino can't keep it in. So a throw in, 70 round from the Woodsman's goal. Broadcast side of the ground here at Soldiers Reserve.
Breathe a sigh of relief there. Shebeki made a great effort to beat Yakarino to the ball, but didn't quite get the spoil, and Yakarino would have been off to the races had the ball not gone out of bounds.
14-point lead to the Woodsman. Umpire throws it back in. We're at the 28-minute mark now of the quarter. Half-time not far away. The Tigers get the clearance. The kick goes in the Pizzuto direction. Ball spills to the ground now. A lot of players around the ball. And a ball up just inside the centre square. Just forward to centre for the Woodsman.
From the stoppage, Sullivan reaches over the top, tried to find a way down to Seaweck, but it's won by the Woodsman, and the kick inside 50 was marked by Charles Bettiol.
Big kick.
Reaching up, and a little bit too tall there for his opponent, and he will have the set shot from about 50 metres out at centre half forward. Might be the last meaningful chance in the term. Charles Bettiol on the bell. So we had one from Cooney at quarter time now, Bettiol, just to stem the bleeding. 50 metres out, Charles Bettiol. That was not one of his best, and it doesn't register a score. 14 points is the halftime margin. Spotswood in front, but the Tigers willed themselves back into the contest, having trailed by 36 points earlier in the term. And they are well within striking distance heading into the second half. The Tigers 4 goals, 8-32. An expert. What are you expecting in the second half? What did you see in that second quarter that points towards either side really taking this game by the scruff of the neck?
Well, I think we saw that it's probably not going to be either side taken by the scruff of the neck. It's probably going to be a bit of an arm wrestle between here and the final siren. It was a brutal contest, particularly the latter half of that second term. I thought Werribee did really well to get themselves back in the contest. I think when Spotswood kicked those 2 early goals in the second term, we thought they were going to really run over the top of them, but they steeled themselves. They just worked really hard on their tackling and on their pressure. They just willed their way up the field. There wasn't anything particularly pretty about it. They're still not getting inside the forward 50 with any great efficiency, but they just managed to scrounge and scrape a few goals and keep themselves in the contest, and if they can keep doing that, they're very much still a chance. But it's a high quality, high intensity game.
Second half underway on Win FM. Trent Lee tries to hack the clearance out of midair, but he missed the football, and it allowed the Woodsman to get onto the ball. It spills out from Norton to Marks, who kicks up towards half forward. Bettiol was the target. It spills free out to Harvey, who was legged potentially. He got away a hand pass. Seaweck got onto the football, but was mown down immediately by Drage. And it will be a ball up at the 50 at right half forward to the Duncan's road end.
Tossed back up. Boyd with the left hand wins it down to Patak. He tries to barge his way through, but he's wrapped up, and we'll do it all again.
Cooney and Yakarino again deep for Spotswood, and there is again no one at all, hardly in the defensive 50 for Werribee.
Play restarts. Donnan with another strong tackle. This time we're outside the 50. Another ball up. 14 points, the half-time margin in favour of Spotswood 7-4-46 to Werribee District's 4-8-32. The Tigers with the last three of the opening half, but from the stoppage, it's the Woodsmen that go forward. Yakarita couldn't take the mark. Sullivan did really well. Rainbow did really well. Got the handball over to Shebeki, and he finds McMahon outside defensive 50.
So McMahon back edge of the centre square, kicks forward to the middle for Lee. This is Trent. He bursts through, wobbles a kick inside 50. It wasn't his best, but the mark is taken by his brother.
It's a bit of brotherly love there. It wasn't a great kick. It was an old helicopter punt from Trent Lee, but it landed in the breadbasket of his brother. He has to try and finish off here and get Werribee ever closer.
They had so much space to run into there. Werribee Districts, to be having a shot from 50 probably isn't ideal, but it's what they've come up with. Cam Lee's been good so far today. 2 goals already. This to bring it back to 10 points. 50 metres out. Lays into it, and it's away to the right. A missed opportunity. So again, the Tigers just not able to convert when needed. Walsh quickly out of defence, gets it almost all the way to the wing, but it's intercepted by Shebeki, the Tigers captain. His kick was partially smothered, chopped off by Marks, had to play on quickly, kicks to a contest in the middle. Nastasi was beaten to it by Mould, who shovels a hand pass out, searching for a teammate, and there is a free kick being picked out. It's a high tackle on Seaweck, who wheels inboard and spots up a teammate inside 50, and it is Nick Bucks.
And that forward action came from Josh Mould with a great intercept and then effort at ground level to win the footy and then just shovel out a handball. He has half of this goal if it goes through.
If he kicks it, it'll be just 7 points.
If being the operative word there, Pep, because he's still a fair way out and Werribee have missed some chances today.
45 out directly in front. Nick Bucks strikes that sweetly. Umpire does not move. And they get the first of the second half. The Tigers, they've kicked the last 4 of the game. And they are well within striking distance now. 5-9-39 to 7-4-46. We're 3 minutes into the third.
Well, the momentum's really swung here now. This is more than just them getting back into the game. They're now on top, if not on the scoreboard, certainly in general play. They're getting the ball into their forward 50 more often, and they're starting to spot up targets, and they're kicking some of those chances that maybe they were missing earlier in the game. It's not pretty from Werribee, but it's very effective. They're putting their head over the ball, and they're winning it when it counts.
McMahon got a second hit out of it, but he hit straight to Patak. He goes inside 50, the tumbles in. Yakarina got it, then got a little handball to Nastasi. Bouncing ball rolls towards the goals. It misses everything, goes out of bounds, and we're going to throw in next to the right behind post for the Woodsman.
And suddenly it's Spotswood under the pump, and they're sort of snatching at chances like that with Nastasi just throwing it on the boot and bouncing it wide. He might have been able to, say, spot up Cooney had he had a bit more time.
Fantastic response by Werribee Districts, kicking the last 4 of the game. They did trail by 36 points early in the second quarter. 7-point margin now. Toss back in. Neil Aldraw with the rucks. But it's Seaweck, he gets a quick handball into space, so it doesn't help any of his teammates out. But now they keep running, though, to the Tigers. It's Lee. But he's out of bounds. And a throw in outside defensive 50 for the Woodsman. 4.5 plays, third quarter. WRFL match of the day here on 88.9 Win FM.
Throw in, right half forward. Boyd wins it down. Gets another go. Hand passes forward to Marks. Now to Yakarino on the left. Left foot snapped. Did it curl enough? Yes, sir. And they do land a big blow. 13 points clear again. The Woodsman 8-4-52 to 5-9-39. Yakarino with goal number 3 of the afternoon. And one of the most important so far.
Well, that was shades of what we saw from Spotswood in the first and second terms. Just when Werribee seemed to be getting on top, Murray Boyd again in the ruck, taking it out of the ruck and then shoveling a great hand pass out towards Yakarino, who then provided the finish. That was the sort of freewheeling football we saw from Spotswood earlier in the game. Werribee have done well to try and lock it up and not give them that sort of freedom, but Spotswood breaking the game open again.
Boyd wins the hit out against McMahon. Paddled forward by Viojo. Rainbow's been good this afternoon. Can he pick it up though? He's pressured there by O'Brien, who did really well. Gained possession himself. Got a handball away to Josh Norton. He's under a lot of pressure. Goes back in the direction of Sam Harvey. Can't gain the ball possession. A lot of players around the footy. Ends up there with Shebeki with a nice left foot. Finds a teammate in space. Now they run to the 50 and the flying shot towards goal for the Tigers is a beauty. Nick Bucks gets the goal. Quick reply by the Tigers gets the margin back to 7 points at the 6-minute mark of the third quarter.
Well, I was just about to say the next goal is really crucial, and it came. I didn't even have time to say it. That's a fantastic reply from Werribee in the blink of an eye, and a great goal on the run by Nick Bucks. Saw that the goal square was free and thought I might as well have a ping from here, and it was a wise decision. It bounced through, and that's, I think, 5 of the last 6 the Tigers have kicked, and it's important they got that quick reply, that they didn't allow Werribee to reassert dominance in the game.
He's kicked their last 2 goals, Nick Bucks, one from the set shot, one from on the run from half forward, but the Woodsmen go clear here. They're down by 7 points. Patak almost takes the mark, paddles it to the boundary. He had Matty Dean for company, happy to escort it out. 8-4-52 Spotswood, Werribee Districts 6-9-45. They've got their teeth right into this, the Tigers. You just get the feeling neither side's going to break away from here. Might be destined to go to the wire. Throw in 70 metres out to the Duncans Road end at the end. The Woodsmen are attacking. Seaweck paddles it out. Wasn't paid a throw. No, it was paid a throw.
I thought it was all right.
I think if you tap it upwards, generally they pay a throw. But he definitely didn't cradle it, so I agree. Stiff. Marks with the ball. Cooney, the target, had to come from the back. Well done by Dean, who stood underneath it.
Oh, no.
And then he's coughed it up, though. A poor kick, and Murray Boyd takes the mark. Prismal not happy it was paid. I think questioning the distance, but probably was just 15.
And he's going to go back and have a shot here, Murray Boyd, and he needs to. He's a leader, and his team's under the pump a bit. They're still in front, of course, but the flow of the game's very much against them. He needs to kick this goal.
He's a big man, shouldn't have any issues with the distance, Murray Boyd, from a long way out. Oh, they had to fly for it on the line, and it's knocked through for a rushed behind. 8-5 to 6-9. 8 points the difference. Woodsman still in front, 8 minutes gone of this third quarter. Shebeki makes sure he didn't get too close to the man on the mark this time. Beautiful kick to Donnan. Had to backtrack by hand for Trent Lee. Shares it out wide now with Ben McMahon, who takes the mark at left half-back. In the long sleeves, sends it down the wing, searching for Caleb Sullivan. Spoil came from the back, front and centre. Hand pass goes towards the boundary from Spotswood, and it was appealed for deliberate from the Tigers players, but it's not paid. It will be balled up right on centre wing underneath the old scoreboard.
Toss back in. Boyd in front, nicely to O'Brien. Gets a hurry kick to half forward, fisted away by Dean and Shebeki. The ball rolls out of bounds at right half forward for the Woodsmen. They lead by 8 points. Third quarter, 9 minutes played now. It's been back and forth contest this afternoon as umpire throws it back in. Short throw. Free kick, no, it was a holding or something. Anyway, Bucks is away from the stoppage. Kicks a low ball to half forward. In front there was Sullivan. Umpire said play on. Pizzuto gets a hurry kick inside 50. Got it to Cam Lee. Tries to sell some candy. And he's wrapped up in a strong tackle there. And a free kick will go the way of the Woodsman.
It was a great tackle. I think he didn't go around 360. He went around 720. He was like a rag doll. Grant
Williams with the free kick, and he'll clear defensive 50. Man in front took a good strong mark there.
Oh no, not the Stasi.
Coleman it was at right half back.
Sorry, Willow. Coleman kicks into the man on the mark. It spills to Bucks. Can he kick another one? He gets to 50. It's a low bullet. It is another one. And it's a 2-point ball game. Nick Bucks shows his class. His third. And he's got their last 3 for the Tigers. And they are Nearly in the lead now. 2 points back. 7-9-51 Werribee Districts. Spotswood 8-5-53. 10 minutes gone. And a bad error there from Mitch Coleman results in a goal for Werribee Districts.
Yeah, now it's the Tigers who are full of confidence here, running on top of the ground. And Nick Bucks, he's really come to play with 2 big goals, and they're still behind on the scoreboard, but very much on top in general play. They've just got a bit more run, a bit more dare about them. They seem to be a bit quicker than Spotswood at the moment, and they need to try and stem this tide very quick, the Woodsmen.
2 points the margin. Someone's got to stop Nick Bucks. He's held off the ball. He wanted a free kick, but we'll get another stoppage inside the centre square. 11 minutes now ticked over. Fantastic response by the Woodsman. Boyd wins it down. Bucks almost stole it. Pushing forward was Harvey. He's wrapped up in a tackle. Was he taken high? He was. No advantage. It's got to come back. So Sam Harvey with the free kick still inside the centre square. 2 kicks from goal. Finds space for Yacarino in front. Couldn't take it in front of his eyes. Fisted away there. Desperate times for the Werribee defenders, and they've forced the stoppage. Yeah, Rainbow. Harkins at the bottom of the pack did really well from the restart. Boyd's kick doesn't travel very far at all. Stolen by Molivus as it gets a hurry kick forward, bounces off the chest of Callard. But he had time to make up. Got a handball to Lynch. Now the ball's back with Callard and a chip over the top. It's 2-on-1. Matty Dean did really well. Fisted the ball away towards the boundary line. Will it stay in? It doesn't. So a throw in just outside the 50 for the Woodsman in the right half forward line.
Did anyone else enjoy the fend off of Molivas on Hamad then? His own teammate? Get out of my way.
So the Gold Coast
Good
Suns.
stuff.
Was the Gold Coast Suns player who punched his teammate in the head?
Oh, yeah.
Trying to spoil?
No, he was trying to punch his opposition bloke and he missed him. Lucky for him, he might have got weeks for it.
It's a metaphor for how well the Gold Coast are going at the moment. Thankfully, both these 2 teams are going much better, particularly Werribee Districts.
Throw in at half forward for the Woodsman, clinging to a 2-point lead. Boyd reaches over the top, wins it down and evades Norton. Patak blazes through. It comes the way of the Tigers though. Bucks, who's been busy, shows it to the boundary, has to go collect. He's spun in the tackle over the line and it will be thrown in. So they gain a little bit of territory there, the Tigers, but not a whole lot. They're still defending at left half back. 7-9-51. Spotswood 8-5-53. 13 minutes gone of this third quarter. Pepe Cavalieri, Andrew Wilson, Cade Lucas, Nick Boylan and Sam Richards on 88.9 Win FM. From the stoppage, the Woodsman will it up towards half forward. Nastasi likes to burrow his way through, couldn't gather it cleanly. And eventually there is going to be a ball up at centre half forward for the Woodsman.
Their defence has really tightened up Werribee. Dean, Mould, Rainbow's gone down there. They're not getting opened up as much as they were in the first half.
From the restart, another strong tackle. The umpire claimed was fair.
It was not too dissimilar to the one earlier where Bojo Rainbow got ridden into the turn.
Sullivan reaches over the top, gets it outside defensive 50. Strong tackle there by Viojo Rainbow. Play on. The ball keeps going forward in the Werribee District's direction. Paddy at the bottom of the pack. Can't pick it up. He's wrapped up in the tackle and we get another ball up.
Boys, you sense if it's time that Spotswood need to try something else in their forward line. Stephen O'Brien impressed in patches down forward last week in their clash with Hoppers. That might be one to look for if Anthony Am swings him forward.
It's been good though in the midfield this afternoon. But from the restart, Trent Lee goes away, kicks it out in the Molivus direction, takes the mark just in front of the Woodsman's interchange bench.
Werribee have gotten on top in the midfield and it's not getting down to Spotswood's forwards as much.
Molivas deep entry. Finally, they hit a key target inside 50, the Tigers, and it's not Jordan Paddy, it's Ben McMahon. He was the big man.
I think it almost fell into his hands by accident, and he was falling down in the pack, and somehow the ball fell into his hands anyway. Either way, he's got the mark, and he should kick this goal to put them in front.
In front for the first time since the 4-minute mark of the opening term. McMahon kicks the goal. And the Tigers have the lead. 8-9-57 to 8-5-53. 15 minutes gone of the third term. And they are running all over the ground at the moment. What can Spotswood do to respond?
Yeah, this is quite some turnaround by Werribee, and you're right, Pep, they are running all over the top of Spotswood at the moment. Their midfield is just getting beaten. Guys who were really important for them in the first half, Patak, Guys like Yakarino, Murray Boyd in the ruck even, their influence has dropped, and Werribee just seem to have so many numbers around the ground. They're just running harder and they're just creating more opportunities.
We're in the middle. They look to go forward again. Oh, but Bucks couldn't take the ball with him. But it's the Woodsman now going to get the clearance through O'Brien. Kicks a high ball to half forward, back with the flight. Bravely there was Mould. Couldn't take the mark. Ball still inside the 50 for the Woodsman. A lot of players around. The ball spills out to the outer side. It's going to go inside 50 now. No, it's not, because the kick is nicely smothered there by Rainbow, and we'll get a throw in 60 round from the Woodsman's goal, right half forward.
And the Werribee defence has really improved as well. I don't think we should undersell how important they've been in this revival. Spotswood have still had opportunities up forward, but those dangerous forwards, particularly Cooney and Yakarino, have been very quiet since half-time.
Sullivan in front wins it though, but only as far as Patak gets a tumbling ball inside 50, lands in the hands of Coleman, who has some time to steady, snaps around the body, misses to the right-hand side, through for one behind, cuts the margin back to 3 points now. Werribee Districts 8-9-57, Spotswood 8-6-54, 16 and a half minutes played now.
Just as I give Werribee's defence a rap, they let a guy run free and have a shot on goal, which fortunately for me he missed.
Shebeki, who's been pretty good from the kick-in duties today. That was a wobbler. O'Brien tried to claim the mark, but it was touched off the boot. Patak gets onto the football, dinks a kick up to half forward, but it's chopped off well by Dundon. Shares it with Prismal, running out the back, delivers down the wing. Viojo Rainbow's been prominent for the Tigers as well. Under the old scoreboard, O'Brien made sure he couldn't gallop away. Has to stop and prop and goes short to Paddy, who marks forward of the wing. 8-9 to 8-6, 17 gone of the third, Tigers in front. Paddy kicks in the Sullivan direction. That was Caleb, it gets over the back. McMahon, who kicked a goal before, had a go at it. Viojo Rainbow has glided forward to become tackler and has scored the ball over the boundary line. It will be thrown in 45 metres out from goal. To the end, the Tigers are attacking. They are pressing. They've kicked 4 goals to 1 this quarter. Hoping for a killer blow. Great tap there. And Bucks again. 4 for the term for Nick Bucks. He has single-handedly turned this game on its head. And the Tigers are 9 points in front. It's been a 45-point turnaround since the midway point of the second term, when they were 36 points down. And it's now or never for Spotswood. They've got to stop the bleeding. There's still heaps of time left before three-quarter time. 18 gone, and the Tigers are up by 9.
Yeah, the momentum switch has been so complete that it's hard to see how Spotswood can turn it around, even though they're only down by 9 points. But they were so far in front. Werribee have worked so hard to get back in front now. It's difficult to see Spotswood turning it around again, despite the amount of time we have left.
8 goals to 3 since quarter time in favour of Werribee Districts. We get a secondary ball up. It's thrown up. Boyd wins it down. Pizzuto tries to shrug a tackle. He's driven into the ground there by O'Brien. Now Bucks comes away with it, gets it a handball away to Sullivan. Now kicks the half forward. Ball's going to spill to the back of the pack. Paddy's running onto it. He gathers on the left boot, flying shot towards goal. Got the wrong side of the ball. Still stays in play. Walsh has to do some tough defending. Eventually sees the ball out of bounds. And we're going to throw in 20 metres round now from the Tigers. Goal in the left forward pocket.
Think about some of the big comebacks you've seen in AFL football. Often they don't just get back in front and win by a point. They often end up running away and winning, clearly, because the momentum swing is so big and so strong it just can't be stopped. I wonder if we're in that situation.
McMahon wins it, but only as far as Harley Walsh ends up with Seaweck, who has time to steady, but he's turned it over.
And he was searching for Bucks again. He could have been lining up for 5 in the quarter. Gee, it's a famous individual performance it could turn out to be from Nick Bucks today. Coleman marks the outlet kick for the Woodsman.
Plenty of time left for Spotswood. That's the good thing for them. More than enough time, and they're close enough to get things back on their terms.
Absolutely. That's a kick to a pack. Forward to the wing for the Woodsman, but it's chopped off by Will Sullivan. He's got a man deep in his defensive 50 and Harkins if he wants to go back there. Had no one near him. Instead elects to go down the line. Reaching up and trying to bring down the mark there was Caleb Sullivan. Couldn't take the mark. Went in again on ground level. Trying to burrow in is Viojo Rainbow. Smother off the boot of Marks. Spills to McInerney, wrapped up in a tackle. Umpire circling. Pings him for holding the ball. Gee, they've been tight on that today. Rainbow wins the free kick.
Their tackling pressure's just lifted so much. Werribee, Spotswood can't really get any room. They can't get any run and carry.
In fact, it was Seaweck who won the free kick. His kick was intercepted there by Coper. Down the wing for McInerney again. And great pressure by Rainbow to see it out. And he gets a big slap on the back from Prismal, who's enthused. It'll be thrown in.
So the throw-in's going to be right in front of Anthony Eames. It's tossed back in. Sullivan and Boyd to do the ruck work. Boyd in front. I reckon he's won the free kick, and he has. But held back there by Will Sullivan in the ruck contest. So Murray Boyd, stalwart of the Spotswood Footy Club, one of the stars of the competition. Kicks inboard, could be dangerous if that's not marked, but it is. Well done, O'Brien. He's been good this afternoon.
That was a good mark under pressure too. He had a Werribee opponent herring down from behind.
He goes out wider now looking for Bilby, who marks in front of Matty Dean. Surveys the 50. Coper calling for it. It's going to be a bomb, I reckon, now, unless he goes backwards. There it is, the bomb, high ball. Can they get a Mark Sullivan standing under it? Can tell. Was that chop of the arms? The umpire said no. And a snap on goal is good there from Coleman. Out of nowhere, they get that goal. And a 3-point margin now in favour of Werribee District, 9-9-63 to Spotswood, 9-6-60. 22 played now, third quarter.
Yep, goal out of nothing. That's just what Spotswood needed, and a bit like what Werribee District's got late in the second term. They just manufactured a goal out of nowhere, and they built on that. Can Spotswood do the same? They don't have as big a margin to run down, and close to three-quarter time, we've probably got 6-7 minutes left. Another goal or two could have a big psychological difference in this game. If Spotswood can still be in front at three-quarter time, that'd really give them a fillip.
Bit unlucky for Sullivan in the end, who looked to have controlled the mark. Spilt down to Coleman, who kicked the goal. So 3 points the difference, and the Woodsmen go forward again. Up in the direction of Boyd. Patak bursts free, draws a couple of players, gets it back to Boyd. Wrapped up in a tackle by Mould. Had a crack at getting rid of it. Didn't. Caught again, but not pinged.
They're two guys that need to get back into the game for Spotswood. Patak and Jordan Boyd, very good in the first half, been quiet since, but kicked that goal and suddenly they're to the fore again.
From the ball up at half forward, flipped over the back by Boyd. Straight out of bounds, Donnan couldn't keep it in. Boundary throw in, 55 metres out to the Duncan's Road end.
9-9, Werribee Districts lead Spotswood 9-6. Fantastic contest this afternoon. Sullivan wins it, gains about 25 metres for his team. Paddy paddles forward. He gains another 10, or will he gain a little more? Overran it. But Molivas comes in and helps him out. Worked out well for Molivas because he was on his left side. Went a squaring ball to Lee. Now his kick goes inside 50. Off hands. Where's Bucks? He's got it. He shrugs a tackle. Now he runs. Can he get 5? He can! 5 in the quarter for Nick Bucks, and a 9-point lead for Werribee Districts, 10-9-69 to Spotswood, 9-6-60, 24 gone now, third quarter.
5 in a quarter, and I think that might have been the best of the lot. He had a lot of work to do when he got the ball. I think his back was facing the goal and he had to twist and turn and beat a couple of opponents, and there was a guy waiting for the ball in the square. I don't think he really got great purchase on the ball when he kicked it, but still it went through. I think we can give him the 3 votes. I think he might have that sucked up. Nick down to the boundary.
No, I was just going to say, boys, I've been to some pretty exciting Bucks parties, but I reckon this is the best one I've been to in a while. So.
Bang, well done. Yeah, Nick Boylan.
Turn his mic off, that's rubbish. Out of the middle, the Tigers go forward again, but it's chopped off the back edge of the square by Yacarino. He shares it with a teammate who delivers out beautifully to Boyd, who, despite some close checking from Mould, takes the mark. He can send the Woodsman deep inside 50. He's got O'Brien leaping from the back. That was your call as well, Nick Boylan. It spills forward, back to O'Brien, throws it onto the boot. Harris is there. Shares it with Trent Lee. Hooks a kick back into searching for the boundary line. Molivas is also there. He's got Callard for company in the end. The Sanctuary of the Boundary wins out. It'll be tossed in at half forward for the Woodsman.
Harkin's very slow to get up for Werribee after that marking contest. He's up now, but he's a bit sore.
Umpire throws it back in. Boyd and Sullivan again in the ruck work. Paddled down there by Boyd, leaves dispossessed, slung in the tackle, didn't have it. Free kick. He's not happy with the work of Sam Harvey, but free kick will go to Trent Lee, left half back. 9-point lead to the Tigers. Nick Bucks, 5 goals in the third quarter, has absolutely turned this game on its head. An absolutely brilliant individual performance by Nick. As the kick goes to centre wing from Lee, but he's turned it over straight to Walsh, marks on his chest. That's Brandon.
Next goal really crucial here between now and three-quarter time, whichever way it goes.
About to tick over 26 minutes. That kick was probably touched, it was, so play on. Coming up nicely and picking it up there was Paddock, got a little handball away. Hurry kick forward for the Woodsman, goes inside 50. Dean runs back with the flight, Mould with the spoil, fell down the Baxter Norton, got a handball away. The kick towards goal for the Woodsman is left. And one behind to Josh Norton. So 8-point lead now to Werribee District. 10-9 to 9-7, 26 played. Third quarter.
Adam Cooney's on the bench. Yacarino, I think, is playing up the ground a bit, so they don't seem to have the forward targets they had in the first half either, Spotswood.
Shebeki goes long down the wing. Pack flies. No one can bring down the mark. It spills to the front. The Woodsmen have the footy. Forward to the play to Patak. Blazes away from outside the 50, but he was out of play. It'll have to come back and be thrown in. 55 metres out from the Woodsman's goal. Only the 2 goals this quarter. 2 goals, 3. Werribee Districts have 6 goals, 1. 5 of those to Nick Bucks.
You called for it earlier, Nick. O'Brien's gone deep forward now for Spotswood, so let's see what he can do if they can get it to him.
From the stoppage, Boyd wins it down. Patak was in there, Harvey as well. Matty Dean dives on the football, and he's won a free kick for a push in the back.
He's been good down there, Matty Dean.
Different role for him this afternoon.
Yeah, a bit of a selfless role for Matty Dean. He shares it out wide with Viojo Rainbow, who's been one of their better players today as well. Probably their best until Bucks stole the show in this quarter.
I think they give him a number lower than 61.
Goes short to Prismal, has to wheel onto his left boot. Sullivan did well to shield his opponent out of it, and then happy to see it out of bounds. So they'll reset at half forward for the Tigers. 10-9-69, Spotswood 9-7-61. Very close to three-quarter time on 88.9 Win FM. 28 minutes gone of this third term.
Boyd and Sullivan go at it, goes over the top of the two of them. Bilby runs onto it, he's wrapped up in a tackle by Prismal. Lee got a handball to Hamad, who's in some space on the right boot, goes inside 50. Oh, mark was dropped there by Caleb Sullivan. Clearing kick play there by Jason Marks, hits the target there in Josh Norton, who looks to move it on quickly. Comes back inboard, good kick there, taken by Bettiol, just forward to centre. He goes back quickly, right foot goes in the O'Brien direction. Nice fist away there by Josh Harris, goes out of bounds, and we're going to throw in just inside forward 50 in the right forward pocket.
That's
for
a
the
free
Woodsman.
kick.
Is it?
Yeah, it's going Matty Dean's way. Not sure what it was for, maybe a push or chopping the arms, something. Anyway, it's Dean's ball from fullback, kicks down the wing. Great mark, second grab. There, Caleb Sullivan, who's been good moving up forward, generally plays across half back. It's been a good target for them, has given them something to kick to, which they didn't have early in the game. Delivers down the wing, a bullet from Olivas, who takes the mark. Usually likes to play on quickly. He's got Shebeki bursting through the middle. He's electing to not go there. He holds it up. Gets a bit of advice from Matty Dean at centre half back, kicks deep inside the 50. Up towards the 50 at least. Bucks is involved. The umpire blows his whistle. It will be a ball up. Left half forward to the club room's end at Soldiers Reserve. Still an 8-point lead. Tigers ahead. Last minute or however long's left is crucial. The Tigers can get another goal. It could make it awfully difficult. Lee underneath. Shovels it out. Bucks is lurking. Caleb Sullivan's underneath. They have picked a free kick out for high contact against Viojo Rainbow on Charlie Nastasi, who wins the football. Kicks speculatively across half back. They're under the pump here. And it's chopped off by Mould and tossed to ground after. And 50 metres against Jordan Boyd.
That's the sort
just not the type of thing you want to be doing at this stage in the game.
Josh Mould going on to Boyd has really quelled his influence, I think, and that sort of indiscipline, that you can't afford that in tight games like this. It's often 50s and free kicks given away that do make a difference in tight games like this, and Josh Mould can really hurt Spotswood here.
So Josh Mould has played some great shutdown roles in recent weeks. He's come across from Wyndham Vale, playing an important role for a quality team in Division 1. Probably doesn't get the plaudits he deserves, but he can kick a goal in a big game. He's only 15 out, slightly right of centre, and he has stabbed it through. And on the cusp of three-quarter time, the Tigers lead by 14 points. 11-9-75 to 9-7-61 off the back of a 7-goal third quarter. And at the 31-minute mark, they can take a handy break into the final change.
That's a pivotal goal, and again, coming from a poor piece of ill discipline from Jordan Boyd, and Mould made him pay, and Werribee just seem to have all the answers at the moment, coming past the 30-minute mark, so it must be very soon three-quarter time. Werribee going to be very hard to beat from here.
So 50-point turnaround since early in the second quarter, but from the restart, Yacarino with a high ball to centre half forward, almost a mark. Taken by Raymond. Paddock runs onto it, got a handball, and the Stasi, well done, Reece Prismal, running down and won the free kick and saved a certain goal there for the Tigers.
And an example of the tackling pressure that Werribee have applied since midway through the second term. It's been key to their revival.
Oh, lucky kick there. Seawick was under a lot of pressure. And a frustrated kick by Jordan Boyd.
And Jordan Boyd, I mean, I know it's after the siren, it won't count, but he has just sent a torp about 60 metres out of the ground in frustration. That's an example of the ill discipline that cost his team a goal just made.
Wyndham Vale 18-14, 122 to North to West Footscray 4-4-28. Division 3, Auburn Vale 40-25, 265 to 128. Glen Orden 41 points over Tarneet, and Sunny Heights trail by 13 points over Wyndham Sun. So, wow, big result there, potentially it coming up. So, three-quarter time here, 14-point margin. The umpires are getting set to start this final quarter. It's going to be a massive final quarter for both sides. Top three on the line for the Woodsmen, and just to hang around in the top 3-4 Werribee districts. You're with Pepe Cavalieri.
Thanks, Willow. Back in the middle. Huge final term underway. Sullivan down to Viosho Rainbow. Back out to Rainbow, who was slung in the tackle, and he didn't have it, said the umpire, so he's going to win a free kick from the middle for the Tigers. He wants to move it on quickly. There's a bit of urgency still even about the Tigers. 14 points up, kicks to Sullivan, who should have marked, dropped it right into the path of Bilby, and he can repel for the Woodsman off half-back. He gives it off to his teammate there in Walsh, who has skewed that one way out of bounds on the full, and it will be a free kick to Werribee Districts.
These first few minutes are going to be fierce. Both teams desperate for a goal.
And Nick Bucks, the hero of the third quarter, kicks long down the wing. It gets over the back. Here's a chance for Paddy. He gets onto the ball, steadies in the pocket, and blows it big time. That's out on the full. His eyes lit up. He couldn't deliver. Score remains the same. 75-61, a minute gone, final term.
It's been good today, Paddy, but his kicking does let him down. He gets under the ball a lot. He kicks it very high.
Yeah. He had more time, I think, than he thought.
Yeah. Adam Cooney's back on the ground for Spotswood, so
didn't do a whole lot in that third quarter.
They need him to find a bit of the footy in the in this last term, as does this guy Yacarino.
Oh, and that's an interesting one. Walsh kicked it to Yacarino, who had no one standing the mark, and then Molavas tried to run him down from behind, but that was paid as coming in the protected zone. So 50 metres paid, deep inside to 50 now for the Woodsman. Here's Cooney. We just said his name, and he has not quite made the distance, and it's tapped through for a rushed behind. 13 points the difference.
One of the things I noticed about Cooney today, it's my first time ever watching him live, and well, certainly in the WRFL anyway, it's his foot movement. He's got those little tippy toes. He moves his feet very quickly, and it allows him just to get out of tight spaces and to get his boot to the ball. It's really interesting to watch.
11-9-75 to 9-8-62. Shebeki, long ball out of defence. Rainbow close to the boundary. Patak escorts it out. Near the Woodsman's interchange bench, which is camped on their attacking side of the wing on the clubroom's side. From the throw-in, McMahon reaches up over the top of Boyd and wins it down, but the Tigers have the footy, but Trent Lee played a bit of tunnel ball with himself and lost it. Paddy dives in. We're inside the centre square of Soldiers Reserve. The umpire circles and calls for it. Ball up. 13 points the difference, rather. 3 minutes gone of this last quarter.
Rucks go at it. Boyd wins it down with the right hand. Paddock's got it. Smashes it forward. Gains about 10 metres for his side. Ball's up near the boundary line. Was that on the full? It was. I think it was off Josh Norton there. So free kick will go the way of Werribee Districts.
Just all of these 50-50s, all of these contests are just going the way of Werribee now. They're just getting to the footy first and they're getting the rub of the green.
Rainbow drives it long, but there's a whistle for holding in the marking contest.
Sullivan.
So Sullivan's got it. That's Caleb. Goes in direction for his brother. Couldn't get a fly at it. Lynch flew, couldn't. Laying the tackle there is Williams for Spotswood, and we'll get a ball up 30 metres out from the Tigers' goal. Kick into the Duncan's Road end in the final quarter. Only the one score in this final quarter, that a point to Spotswood, but from the stoppage, it's that man again, Bucks. Dribbles it through, 6 on the afternoon. All 6 coming in the second half. And that's a 19-point lead now to Werribee Districts. They are 12-9, 81 to Spotswood, 9-8, 62. One of the most brilliant individual performance you'll ever see, I reckon.
Well, I reckon we've seen a similar one from Chris Molovas on this ground, where he kicked 6.5 to overrun the opposition one day. It might have been a St Albans outfit, but this has rivaled that, if not eclipsed it, I would say.
When you're hot, you're hot, and Nick Buxey is positively radioactive out there this afternoon. He is like the surface of the sun. He has turned this game by himself, and basically on his boot, Werribee have turned this game around and will probably end up winning it.
12-9, 81 to 9 goals, 8, 62. Free kick to O'Brien for a high tackle in the middle. He can send the Woodsman forward. Absolutely must kick the next goal. It's a good-looking kick. Cooney jumped early, held his spot, takes the mark.
It's like he floated, like he levitated there for a moment.
Can he get the journey from here? 50 metres out. He's not going to back himself in. He gives it over the top to Drage from the pocket. And then off hands and through for a rushed behind.
Don't want to labour the point, but it has been fascinating to watch someone like him who, even though he's, long past his best, just the little things he does that are different to, players we normally see at this level of the competition.
Shebeki, who's been a real threat kicking out of defence. This time he missed the target. Boyd ghosts onto the football, delivers into the pocket, misses the target there in Coleman, straight over his head. And the mark's been taken in defence by Caleb Sullivan, who's been moved back into the back half. Kicks down the wing. And it's a free kick to the Tigers.
He was near enough best man on the ground in the first half, Jordan Boyd. He's really fallen away a bit.
Rather, that was Harkins who had the football in defence, and now he's kicked it in the direction of Sullivan, who won the free kick. So defensive side of the wing. He's going to switch the play through his defensive arc for Matty Dean, who his options on the broadcast side were quickly closed down by the Woodsman, so he goes through the middle for Prismal. Dinks a kick over the top for Paddy, who presents, had it tapped out of his grasp, gets onto it anyway. Hand pass to Harkins, close to the boundary line. Backtracks to his captain, Shebeki. Kicked it straight into Lynch. Ricochets to Nastasi. Works it back to Coper. Caught by Harkins in the tackle. And the umpire quick to blow his whistle and call for it. It will be a ball up. On the edge of the centre square, slightly attacking side for the Woodsman, who trail by 18 points. At the stoppage, Sullivan reaches up, wins it down. Seaweck in an acre of space, wins the clearance. Up to half forward. Viojo Rainbow out of position, but did enough to keep it away from Bilby. Bilby did brilliantly. Gets it onto his non-preferred. Out in the direction of O'Brien on the outer side. Good pressure there from Hamad. Coming in was Dean. Caught in the tackle by Walsh. Brought to ground. Ball up.
Well, it's just a fascinating matchup developing now in this last term, as Anthony Eames has sent Charlie Nastasi forward, picked up by Mould, who's obviously done a really good job on Jordan Boyd. That'd be one to watch.
Throw up on centre wing, outer side, Seawork at the bottom of the pack's wrapped up in the tackle immediately. And we're going to blind the ball up. 18-point margin Werribee Districts lead 12-9 to 9-9. 7 played. Final quarter. Nick Buck showed this afternoon 6 goals, all in the second half. Kicked 5 in the third quarter from the restart. Paddock's got it. Ducks under a Sullivan tackle, but the umpire said it was high. So Paddock gets it. Quickly wheels around. But he's kicked it straight to his ex-teammate there in Naif Hamad, who takes the mark at true centre-half back. Players look to spread, but he's slow to move it, so he forces to go to the Molavas direction. He took his... Oh, yeah, mark was paid. Strong mark in front of his eyes. Maybe been a little bit lucky, but he's just forward to centre for his side. The Tigers, he chips a high ball, and it's nicely weighted, and Caleb Sullivan runs out, takes a good mark in front of his eyes as well. 75 from goal.
He's been really important too, Caleb Sullivan. The move of him up forward has been really pivotal in their fight back, Werribee.
Sullivan deep inside 50. Hamad from the back. Lynch front spot. Spoils it out of play. It'll be a boundary throw in. 20 metres out to the end. The Tigers are attacking. One more goal would make it awfully difficult. Still within range, but they've only kicked 2 goals since half-time. Spotswood, raining goals in the opening half. Haven't been able to conjure much since. They do clear the danger zone this time, though. Cooney the target, but McGuinness, who's done a good job on Cooney since the opening quarter, probably sacrificed his own game for the betterment of his team, and he delivers up to Seaweck, who marks. He's too far out to score. He sets it up to full forward. Viojo Rainbow the target. Boyd knocks it back towards the goal line. Walsh is there, had to scamper around Paddy. Then Paddy got him, and Walsh had the presence of mind to hand pass it behind him through the posts for a rushed behind.
That's an example of how things have changed in the first half. Walsh was able to get away with that, waltz out of defence and set up attacks. This time he was really hassled and hurried and nearly gave the ball away.
So now Walsh does clear the defensive zone. Yacarino wins it, gives it to Nastasi. Now to Boyd through the middle, kicks to Cooney at half forward. Wasn't going to take the mark, so he palmed it down to the advantage of Bettiol. Hands it back to Cooney. Swiveled the hips. Dinks the kick inside 50. Couldn't quite hit a target. It comes back out to Cooney, who must kick a goal from here if there any chance. And he does. On the run, Adam Cooney with his second. And they're back to 13 points down, so don't write the Woodsman off just yet. 10-9-69, trying to chase down the Tigers again. 12-10-82, 10 minutes gone of the last quarter.
Yeah, just a sense there of Cooney just taking matters into his own hands, saying, right, I've got to put the foot down here and do it myself, and that was a great goal. He also got a bit of help there from his teammates who were trying and just couldn't quite get a clear shot on goal, but look, there's a sense of urgency about Spotswood now. They know that this game's slipping away, a game they had in their grasp, and they've really got to make every post a winner now. So look for them to really come hard in these next few minutes.
Sullivan wins the hit out. Paddock was solidly met by Viojo Rainbow. And there's a whistle for a throw. It's going the way of the Woodsman.
Well, they've got a chance here now. Move it forward quick. Try and get 2 in a row.
Baxter Norton's got the free kick, kicks it to centre half forward in the Copa direction, got hands to it, couldn't take the mark. Dean does the roving for the Werribee Districts, got a little handball back there to Harkin. His kick was under pressure and they've turned it over. Now the kick goes back inside 50 for the Woodsman, and they've got the mark. Coleman has taken it.
Well, a chance here for a little momentum shift back to Spotswood's way. Coleman is, I think he's kicked 1. He's been in and out of the game, but he's taken the mark here. And again, Werribee just managed to get, Spotswood just managed to win it at the clearance, get some quick ball into the 50, and we've seen when they get quick ball in there, they're very dangerous.
Coleman was going to kick from 35 and a 45-degree angle. He comes in now to bring it back to 7 points, kicks on its way, he's hooked it left, 1 behind. Even 2-goal margin now. It's Werribee Districts 12-10-82 to Spotswood 10-10-70, 11 and a half played final quarter.
It's a bad miss. Pretty straightforward shot at goal, crucial time.
Shebeki wants to send it down the clubroom's wing in the direction of Molavas, who had to come from the back. He ended up with the football, but it wasn't a mark, and then he kicked it straight into the arms of Yacarino, who smothered it and maintained possession. Gave it to McEnany, back inboard to a teammate, and then run down by Molavas. Great tackle. Wins the free kick, defensive side of the wing. This is such a huge game for the Tigers. If they go down, it'll be 3 losses in their past 4. And they can't afford that. And other results seemingly going their way as well. They need to maintain this advantage up towards half forward. Front and centre there was Pizzuto. It came back to Lee. Sullivan rather, through the middle for Pizzuto again. They've coughed it up. Bucks was wanting the hand pass over the top. Spotswood out of defence. Good spoil by Prismal, but it still came the way of McInerney, who was paid the mark in the end. He goes through the middle, searching for O'Brien. Seaweck did well, got a hand in there. Jars it free for Camley, who hand passes back to Rainbow. Kicks inside the 50. Straight to Harley Walsh, who's being chased down by Ben McMahon, but he had enough gas to get down the wing. Kicks in the Patak direction. Couldn't quite take the mark. Great tackle laid there on Drage. It's still in the field of play. Nastasi in the end is scored out by Rainbow.
Around the grounds, Hoppers Crossing 17-point lead over Deer Park.
If results keep going the way they're going, Deer Park will either be percentage in or percentage out of the 5. More than likely they'll still be in, but hanging by a thread from the stoppage. Or an unfortunate little soccer off the ground there by Viojo. Rainbow was out of bounds on the full.
Yeah, they're the little breaks that can change games, and just a sense that Spotswood have reasserted a bit of control in this game in the last few minutes.
Jordan Boyd with the free kick, drives it long inside 50. Cooney was worked out of it. And he looked for a free kick, but a defensive mark.
Threw the arms up in the air. I don't think it was quite good enough acting to fool the umpire, though.
So the clearing kick for the Tigers goes in the Sullivan direction, hands to it. Paddy rows it, somehow ball it behind Lynch, and Paddy still had hold the ball. Paddy goes in again with Lynch. Yacarino's there, grabs him by the arm. And the ball up, centre wing, in front of our boundary riders out there on the ground. Nick Boylan and Sam Richards tossed up. Boyd with the left hand, flicked it over the back, they're away. Baxter Norton goes away, the left foot, kicks inside 50. Can they get a mark, the Woodsman? Good fist away there by the Tigers defence. Shebeki runs onto it. He's going to wheel back onto his left boot. Little neat kick out of defence, isn't that great though. It's nearly chopped off, and now it is. Jordan Boyd gathers, handballs back to Baxter Norton. He picks it up on the bounce. Lights come on now at Soldiers Reserve, and a low, beautiful dart kick finds Charlie Nastasi in the left forward pocket. But he might be in the wrong pocket for a left footer.
Yeah. He's been a bit quiet today, Charlie Nastasi. It was terrific when we saw them earlier in the season against Altona. Again, they lost. But no better time than now to assert himself and make an influence on the game.
So Nastasi from the boundary line from 40 looks pretty good. No, pushed it across the face. One behind, 11-point margin now in favour of the Tigers. 12-10, 82 to Spotswood, 10-11, 71. 15 gone now, final quarter.
Could be an important point though. 2 straight kicks in there in front.
I was going to say handy point. Shebeki again with the kicking in duties. Goes down the clubroom's wing. Oh, reaching up and unable to take the mark there for the Woodsman. I'm not sure who that was.
Might have been Boyd. Big Murray.
No, Jason Marks, and he hit the deck with some aggression, was slow to rise. The ball made its way out of bounds in the meantime.
He had fair purchase on it too. He's unlucky not to be paid.
From a throw-in, Boyd front spot. Wins it down, gets another play at it, close to the boundary line. Here's Josh Norton. Tries to will it forward. Yacarino couldn't gather it cleanly. They've got it to half forward though to the Woodsman. 11 points down, 16 gone of this last quarter. Still very much in it. But the Tigers holding on for now. Boundary throw in. Palm down with the left hand by Boyd. Good tackle by Pizzuto, and Viojo Rainbow wins the clearance from half back to half forward. Camley flicks it over the back, kept it in the field of play. Perhaps should have just been happy to, settle for a boundary throw in. In the end, Callard gets onto it for the Woodsman. Kicks down the wing. Bucks has got to be good. Couldn't quite lay a tackle, but did enough to see his opponent out of play under the old scoreboard at Soldiers Reserve. Werribee District's 11 points ahead. 12-10, 82 to 10-11, 71.
11 points, understatement. The next goal very important for both sides. Toss back in, Sullivan in front wins it down. Ball's paddled towards the Woodsman's interchange bench and eventually rolls out of bounds, and we'll get another throw in.
And whoever wins this game, I mean, this is a really pivotal win for either team. Werribee, it really reasserts their premiership credentials. Spotswood, just another, signature of their premiership credentials themselves, I suppose.
Took the kick and kicked it half forward, but Dundon stolen. 5 Viojo Rainbow inside on the cricket pitch area. Kicks a low ball to Molovas.
Might be within range from here.
Hasn't kicked the goal this afternoon. He's got 2 behinds.
The mouth guard's come out. It's going in the socks. He's going for home.
He's going to have a shot. He's going to kick it about 60 to get the distance.
We'll have a slight breeze behind him, but it's very, very light.
I think Merv Hughes came from Werribee, didn't he? This is a Merv Hughes-like run-up. Except it's not curved, but it's probably the same length.
Not sure, Cade, but Molovas comes in, kicks it, goes the extra distance, hooks it. Is it a score? It is. It's been marked over the line, so it's a point to the Tigers. 12 points the margin now. 12-11 to 10-11, 18 played now, final quarter.
3 behinds today to Chris Molovas. Might be the most important. It gets them back to a 2-goal even advantage out of defence.
Good mark.
Sorry to jump in there, boys. The scoreboard at the ground reads 12-11, 83 to 10-10, 70. So they've got an extra point in their districts. Hopefully that doesn't play into the end of the game. Otherwise, there might be some confused faces out on the ground.
Always trust Pepe with the scoreboard, Nick. You'll learn that very quickly.
Yeah, well, we'll wait and see. We've got an extra point for Spotswood. That the board does.
It's all what the goal umpires say. They might have to go over there and wave the flags. That'd be a bit of drama.
Well, it won't matter unless there's a point the difference. There's going to be a ball up at half forward for Spotswood. Sullivan reaches over the top. Seaweck was basically being corralled by Yacarino straight away before he took possession. Once he did, he was wrapped up. It'll be a ball up.
This is good for Werribee, though. They're just killing time, just grinding the game out.
That's a good tap down there by Boyd. It was won by Yacarino. Deep into attack. Here's an opportunity for Spotswood right on the last line. Can they conjure something? Good tackling by the defence of Werribee Districts to hold them up. There'll be a ball up right on the last line.
Umpire throws it up next to the left behind post. Sullivan reaches over the top. A lot of players around the ball. Desperate signs for both sides. And we'll get another ball up, same spot. 19.5 minutes now played to this final quarter. Boyd wins it that time, drops it at his feet. Loose ball going towards goal. Nastasi laying a tackle. Ball's paddled out the back. Still a lot of players around it. And we'll get a ball up on the edge of the goal square. Probably about 5 metres out from the Woodsman's goal. So Boyd and Sullivan go at it again. Boyd wins it. Oh, Copa! In the single motion, roved it and kicked it. Now we wait for confirmation. It's a goal! Toby Copa with the reflexes that were like a ninja gets it back to 6 points. He didn't have time to grab it. He just guided the ball straight to foot, kicks it. It's 12-11, 83, Werribee District Spotswood, 11-11, 77. We're in the time on now, final quarter.
Well, I'll stand corrected, but I don't think I've heard Toby Copa's name called all that much today. He's had a pretty quiet one. That might even be his first contribution at all, but what a contribution. A great goal, and they are right in this up to their eyeballs now, Spotswood. Still probably the best part of 10 minutes to go.
Back in the middle. Boyd wins the clearance, but it's chopped off at half-back for the Tigers by Dean. He shares it out wide with Trent Lee, who takes the mark under the old scoreboard. Didn't want to scamper on.
Now they're right under the pump again, Werribee. They can't afford to sit on this lead. They've got to try and get another goal at least.
21 minutes gone. Lee's kick wasn't great. It's been turned over. He followed up with a tackle, though. Spotswood kicked it straight to Matty Dean, who might have won a free kick for high contact. The umpire holds his whistle. Here's Bucks in the congestion, spun in the tackle, pinged for holding the ball.
Yeah, they've just rested a bit of ascendancy here, Spotswood. They're winning the 50-50s now.
Now I'm concerned about the scoreboard as to what happens if it's a point, the difference at the end. We've given Spotswood one more than the official scoreboard has. Inside the 50, O'Brien. Here's Norton, wins the footy. Did he get rid of that cleanly? Umpire said yes. Well done by Dundon. Clears it out of defence. An opportunity for Marks has got to be good against Pizzuto. He shields Pizzuto from the ball, just taps it towards the boundary. Pizzuto beats him to it. Hand pass over the top to Molovas on hands and knees. And then it's tapped out of bounds. In the end, by Grant Williams, it will be thrown in.
That was a tremendous contest between both Marks and Pizzuto. Neither gave an inch. You'd probably give it 50-50 a draw. It's gone out of bounds in the end. Great stuff from both players, both teams.
22 minutes gone. Patak wins the football, barrels through a tackle, and in a second, hooks a kick down the wing. Coper, the target, nudged out of it. Opportunity for Mould, slung in the Nastasi tackle. It's not coming out. There'll be a ball up on centre wing. 6 points the difference.
A few guys limping out there too. There's going to be some sore bodies after this one. This has been a brutal contest. Sullivan
wins it down. Norton underneath, wrenched clean by Dean, but he was caught in the tackle. Ball up.
Nearly 23 minutes gone. Not a high scoring term, so the next goal, I mean, we've been saying that for a while, but next goal here is probably the winner.
Bucks lays the tackle from the stoppage. The man who turned the game on its head in that third quarter with 5 individual goals, 6 for the game.
Iacarino impatiently waiting to get back on the ground, boys, so he can influence these last few minutes.
And a free kick out of the ruck contest here. It's going the way of Spotswood, who can go deep into attack.
Free kick to Boyd for over the shoulder, can drive the Woodsman inside 50, but instead it's a squaring ball in that man Coper's direction. Flies couldn't get a hand at Molivus, does the crummy, gets a hurry kick, bouncing ball, goes the way of Caleb Sullivan, but he copped the shocking bounce. Now it's going to be kicked forward by Grant Williams for the Woodsman to half forward. Fisted away there. Molivus tries to pick it up. He can now. Just hurry kick on his left boot. There's no one around. Boyd's going to make the chase. It's coming straight to the van. It's going to stay in play though. There's a foot race out there. Paddock's one of it. That man, Mould it is with him. Or Bucks it is, sorry. And he's knackered. Hands on heads. Yeah, we're going to throw in just next to the...
important chase.
It was.
He was going like a man possessed there, Bucks, and you know, you can understand it. He's kicked 6 goals. He's dragged his team back from the abyss. He doesn't want to let it slip now.
Just the 3 goals this quarter, so it won't be a very long one.
From the throw-in, slightly attacking side of the wing for the Tigers. Sullivan wins it down to Hamad. He's caught by Lynch straight away. They're not moving anywhere. Another ball up. 24 and a half minutes gone. Sullivan palms it down straight to Patak. Sweeps the hand pass forward for his teammate in Norton. That was of the Baxter variety. He hooks it on the left boot down towards half forward. Tapped forward by O'Brien. Dean was allowed to pick the footy up there by his teammate in Harkins, close to the boundary line. Captain Shevecki was caught. He'll be balled up 55 metres out from Spotswood's goal. The official scoreboard now reads what we have, 12-11 to 11-11. Let's just hope we weren't wrong in the first place. We'll find out shortly after the siren. From the stoppage, Seawick underneath, tries to burrow through, hands it out to Dundon, but he's given it straight to Cooney from the impossible angle, straight across the face. And what do the umpire? They're going to throw it in, even though the Tigers thought it was out on the full. So still an opportunity for Spotswood.
I think we know what the blokes at the bar think.
So it's going to be a boundary throw in, right up against the left-hand behind post. 25 and a half minutes gone. The Tigers lead it by 6 points. It's one down by Sullivan. Iacarino's going to track it. He gets into space, hooks a kick back. Coper's got the sit, couldn't quite take the mark. Coleman was there as well. Shebeki had his head taken off, but it's not paid. And the fans hate that call by the umpire, and they've probably got a fair point. It will be balled up.
A courageous call by the umpire, particularly in front of the bar over there.
Umpire wastes no time. Murray Boyd comes up with it, and he's pinged. 50-metre penalty is going the Tigers' way.
This is fever pitch stuff now, and that 50, that might just about snuff out Spotswood. Probably still a bit of time, but gee, that hurts.
There'd be at least a minute and a half left, you'd think, but maybe not much more than that.
As I said earlier, ill discipline can really cost you in these tight games, and that might just give Werribee the breathing space they need.
Will Sullivan short to Hamad, the former Spotswood player at right half-back. His team leads by 6 points. It's been a mountainous comeback. Kick to half-forward. Viojo Rainbow's trying to get onto the football. He does. He was brought down in the tackle. He might not have had the football. Bucks tried to steal the football again. It's inside 50 for the Tigers. Deep into attack. One score, any score might be enough. Umpire waves play on. They'll have to ball it up now, and they do. Elsewhere, Hoppers Crossing look to have got across the line against Deer Park. They're 34 points in front. We've absolutely got the close one here. From the stoppage, reaching up over the top was Sullivan. Spotswood win the clearance. Kopar just had to juggle it a little bit. Hamad gives it back to Prismal on that left boot. It was a key smother. And now the Woodsman through the middle, through Patak. It's a one-on-one contest inside 50. Great spoil from the Tigers' defence. Brilliant stuff by Harkins. Gives it over to Dean. And the kick out wide. Forced Lee to run hard for it, but he took the mark inside the boundary. And that's it. It's going to be one of the best wins they'll have this year, Werribee Districts. 36 points down in the second term. They were down and out, and they came from nowhere and overran a spirited Spotswood in the end to win by a single goal.
That is a
Nick
great
Bucks was the match winner. He kicked 5 goals in the third quarter, kicked a 6th in the last, and was the difference in the end. 12-11-83 the Tigers. The Woodsman 11-11-77. It keeps their season and top 3 hopes very much alive, the Tigers, and they risked a 3rd loss in 4 games had they dropped today. So a 6-point win and thoroughly deserved. Cade Lucas, a tremendous game of football.
Yes, I said at the start of the day that Werribee needed a statement win today, and they've got it. That is a huge victory. Probably the best victory they've ever had under Chris Gillum. I don't think that would be going too far. And, full credit to Spotswood too. They played some brilliant football to get 6 goals up. And then even after Spotswood... even after Werribee had come back and got back on top, Spotswood kept fighting hard and almost wrest control back of the game. I thought once Werribee got back on top, they'd go away with it, but it was just a terrific contest all the way to the end. Heroic effort by both teams, but Werribee really saving their season and reviving their season. They are a legitimate premiership chance in this most unpredictable of WRFL seasons. And overall, it was a great demonstration of what this league's about. It was a wonderful day of footy, and well done to the Tigers.
Good on you, Cade. A thorough examination of finals football this afternoon for both